Howdy, folks. Welcome to Adventures in Alberon, Courts of Everest, our original D&D campaign. I am Joe Treff, your DM this evening, and joining me are my friends Matt, Tina, Kara, Hannah, and Alana.
Yeah.
We are all celebrating Alana's birthday today, which is technically in 2 days, but we are celebrating it today because we're here now.
Yeah.
We're going to play D&D, but just in a second, I have a couple of announcements. First of all, we played Mosaic Team 5, our original Starfinder campaign, last night. We had a nice little trip through the Alkarash Crossroads. There were some goblins, so a nice little like fantasy sci-fi cross. There were some tender moments, so you can check that out on YouTube at Alberon RPG when it re-airs on Sunday at noon, followed by this at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We are also at Alberon RPG on Instagram and also something called Threads. I don't know what that is, but it prompted me to do it, so we have that now.
Wait, what?
I don't know.
It's the new. It's it's Facebook's Twitter.
Instagram.
Oh, the kids are doing it.
Yeah.
So we have that now also at Alberon RPG. You can see pictures and stuff like that from the battles and things. Right now, there's nothing on our table, but whatever is up there, you'll be able to see much closer at Alberon RPG on Instagram. And then the very last week of July and the first week of August, we're going to be on break for the summer. We're going to be airing one-shots for each of those weeks that are pre-recorded. We did one last weekend, which is a lot of fun. It was our Starfinder one-shot called The Influencers. And then with the most horrific Don Gorski that I've ever met. Sorry for the real Don Gorski,
there was so much tongue involved.
Yeah, like a tremendous amount of time.
So upsetting.
For a role-playing game.
What species was that?
It's a real species. Anyways, to find out what this is, you can check out on July 28th here on Twitch. We are going to be airing for the first time followed by Camp Bright Cove, a D&D original one-shot, which we're playing tomorrow. And that is going to be airing August 5th, something like that. And then finally, for music, sound effects, things of that nature, we use Sirenscape, which is a digital tool set that you can use to add music, sound effects like this huzzah, and this crashing wave. Ooh, it's a big wave that time.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a good one. Sirenscape, digital tool set that you can use to add sound effects to your game. And with that, I'm going to get us into our recap. Wandering Hearts, last we played, you fought the Widowmaker Arowana, a creature that could project illusions of itself to confuse its prey, or your eye for detail made it simple for you to discern which of the projections was real. Cheshire, Billy, and Alina overlapped mischief and hexes to degrade the creature's ability to react to attacks and respond to other abilities. Valis managed to ensnare the creature with a strike that wrapped it in iron-like kelp. Minka, you fired guiding bolt after guiding bolt, illuminating the creature in the dark water, and as it glowed, and as Dimes dragged the ship around in an about-face, it was Billy who slayed the beast, with the hex damage skewering the creature dozens of times before it sunk beneath the waves, with Billy pounding furiously, Minka's water walking, making it impossible to loot the body. As his body sank to the bottom, the rest of you gathered stock of your situation and eventually made your way to shore, to a beach that was populated by turtles, not the spirit of fallen warriors, but turtles, just regular turtles, nesting there on the beach. Valis again spoke to the local wildlife, learned some ominous facts about the Fields of Folly, which is the destination that now lies in front of you to the north. But as you sort of stomped away, Cheshire, leading the group, insofar as you are in the front now, you cast your eyes on the Fields of Folly, and in the wind you can hear wind chimes, and that is where we ended last week and where we begin this week. Give me just one minute here.
That time you got 100 when you rolled the D100?
Yeah.
Oh, that happened last week too.
Yeah.
It was the last thing that happened.
Oh.
I am excited and terrified to find out what that means for us.
I swear there's something driving this character beyond me because I don't know how that happened.
Okay.
Dice Christ has spoken.
So the Fields of Folly are stony soil, and you can see in front of you there is like the petrified wood and these broken bits of rock, and the landscape rises and falls in craters and kind of hills. Cheshire, as you impatiently stomp ahead of the group, suddenly, on the soft wind blowing in from the north, you hear wind chimes. Cresting the hill like a ghost amongst the broken ground, you see a rotund figure. Slowly appears, like the sun rising against the horizon. This is an ancient, stooped turtle. You can see they're wearing a large white hat with a wide brim that flops down and around their face. They wear a white tabard over white robes that extend down to the lower shin, and they walk using what looks like a crutch of some sort, wrapped in brown and tattered linens to help them walk along. The sound comes from them, and as they get a little bit nearer, you can see this soft tingle of wind chimes comes from various little metal objects that are hung from the hat, hung from the staff, hung from the sleeves as well. And slowly they are making their way towards you. Is there anything that any of you are doing at this point? Pretty quickly, as the wind blows in from the north, you can hear this, and so they're definitely not intending to sneak up on anybody.
Does he seem hostile?
Make a sense motive check. Looking across the field, you see this turtle just slowly walking through, using this crutch to help them.
Billy's got a hand on her blade.
It's like a traveling merchant or something.
Make a sense motive. Make an insight check. Sorry, wrong
16.
system. With a 16, you look out across, and as you look out, they just slowly hold up a hand and they wave, and you can hear this little ting 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 as they do, and then they continue getting closer. But they look like they have a movement speed of about 10 to 15. It's taken them a little bit to get here.
And Alina's gonna turn to Billy and be like, look at him. I mean, you're probably no swords needed.
With a 27, you look, this turtle seems to be pretty happy to see you. They're smiling, they're slowly making their way through. You see Minka just gives these big waves, and they again stop, slowly squint ahead, and then just give a slow wave back. And you hear again, ting, ting, as they do. And then they continue. They're about 40 feet away. Is there anything that you want to do before they reach you?
I haven't seen a turtle in so long.
We saw one relatively recently. He owned a boat shop.
Although, to be fair, I think that was mostly Ori that interacted with them. I think.
That's true, yeah.
But you see this individual across. You can see they do have a large rucksack on their back. There are wind chimes hanging from that as well. And as they get closer, there are peculiar patterns that are carved into them. They are a series of overlapping circles and fine filigrees of intersecting lines and angles. They approach, and then you're still in front, right?
Unless someone has passed me. I'm not walking super fast.
Okay, gesture,
See
they
how this
approach.
plays out.
Walking.
And they say, "What noble pursuit would bring 6 souls like you to such a good place to be eaten?"
This isn't my conversation. I have no idea. Who knows?
We're travelers.
He slowly shifts and turns over to you. And when he turns, he has to move his feet several times to shift the mass of his body.
I love him.
But he looks, and instantly you can see, is anybody wearing the badge of
Yeah.
Treaty of Four Seasons?
Put that shit in my
they're on our
pocket.
cloaks, isn't
Yeah, most people are, I assume, Breezy
I'm
has a
wearing the
cloak on.
clothes that it's pinned on, so yeah.
So he looks and he just goes, "Oh, here's some,
Yes, and you're...
Nojdaido.
Bless you.
It's my name, and I'm not really for religion or that kind of thing. But thank you." Yes.
Here, here.
Spelling on that?
Nojdaido is Nojdeido.
Thank you.
Obviously.
I was not as far off as I thought I was.
Where are all of you trying to get to?
Again, knows.
We heading up to the Divine Court. Or thereabouts. Some
And
business.
what's your business in these very spooky fields of Folly? You seen how spooky this place is?
He turns and he looks, and he just kind of turns back to you. And he says, "I don't think it's spooky at all."
Good job.
Oh,
You can see he holds up his sleeves and he just ding, this little metal wind chime, and he says, "These keep the shadows away. I've got some other tricks too when I need to." but this place isn't so bad.
Do
Not
you
for
live
me.
here?
No, but I walk through here quite often,
Doing what?
helping people such as yourself. This is a calling for me. This is a place that I feel connected to. Yeah,
Inside check.
make a sense move.
Suspicious as fuck because I got a 13.
13, yeah, seems pretty sus.
This guy ain't sus at all.
There's nobody out here to bother me. There's nobody out here to tell me what to do. There's no kings, there's no crystalline council.
Sounds pretty nice, actually.
Fran's good point.
Did you make those?
He looks down at these little wind chimes and he says, I did. Back home.
They're beautiful.
Thank you. So you all need help crossing this field.
Wouldn't say
We wouldn't turn
no.
it down.
Yeah.
It's always appreciated.
We heard a ghost earlier.
Wasn't this?
There ain't no ghosts here. There's much
The
worse.
little one appears on Mika's shoulder. Cute, like anime style.
Little ghost.
What? This has to do with the shadows.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, they seem to come out of the ground every now and then, and they're not too friendly.
What are they?
Shadows.
See, the turtle said the same thing.
Well, there ain't really much more to tell. They're shadows one minute, and they take your breath away the next. And once you get hurt by them, it takes a long time to feel better.
So, besides the chimes there, anything else that we can do to not get attacked by these shadows?
You know, you've already done the most important thing. You found me.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. I guess we did find it. Alright, well, I'm ready to get the hell out of here, so...
Wait, so what kind of help are you offering? Like an escort?
I'll get you through the shatter fields, and you can make your way the rest of the way. But those are hard to get through, unless you have me. If you see red strings, do not touch them.
Alright, don't touch the red strings.
Why not?
They'll teleport you.
What about pink ones?
I ain't never seen a pink one. Go ahead, I guess.
Okay.
Where will they teleport you to?
Somewhere else in the shatter field. They can go pretty much anywhere.
Have you ever, heard voices when you're traveling through here?
You know, it gets mighty lonely sometimes, and I reckon sometimes when the wind blows just right, yeah. But I think that's something they call a projection. Not real.
Oh, we're going crazy.
But
Oh, could be that as well, yeah.
It really didn't take long.
Hmm.
This is probably some of the better quality we've seen out of him. The poor soul.
You wouldn't happen to know what would set a cart on fire, would you?
Well,
Fire,
that's easy. Hags.
hags, suppose.
Billy just like narrows her eyes at Cheshire.
are any other things we should be worried about besides these shadows?
Mostly the shadows, but the terrain ain't exactly friendly.
Alright.
There's stonefly leeches and some of the mud.
Alright.
Can I do an insight check on how much this feels like Gollum walking
Yeah,
you
sure.
through
Go ahead.
that,
Make a sense mode,
the,
insight
like the
check,
don't
yeah.
touch the lights
Yeah.
and the faces and the oh no, that's a 7.
Or do.
We're going! Sorry. Seems totally legit. So, Yeah, he turns to all of you, and as far as you can tell, yeah, it's really hard to tell what his motivations are. Now that being said, looking at him, almost completely undirtied and like walking through these muddy, stony fields, that's pretty weird. There's a lot of things about him that are very weird. The fact that he just showed up out of this like incredibly spooky place, that may not sit great with you, but again, hard to tell.
I'm gonna telepathically ask Rez, what do you make of this guy?
I think he's full of shit.
Okay, cool. Be on your guard.
All right.
Onward, turtle man!
Is he full of shit? Now I'm worried.
Make a sense motive check again, but you're doing so at a disadvantage.
Well, I made one before, but
Yes.
I didn't get anything.
Just because Matt is
Oh,
worried
sorry. Yeah, you
doesn't
made
mean
27,
worry
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. With a 27, he seems like a turtle who is very excited to help you out. He seems a little weird, but he already said doesn't seem especially fond of the Crystalline Council.
Cool.
Doesn't seem especially fond of having people tell him what to do.
Like that?
Yeah.
Cool. I'm all for this guy. I'm ready to go.
I mean, if he's found his calling, then who are we to, not take advantage of it? I don't think that came out right.
I understand.
We would appreciate your help very greatly.
All right. Again, please don't touch the strings. And slowly he begins to like crutch his way.
I'm just gonna like
forward.
keep an eye on Minka the whole time. Just like passively, being like, you okay over there?
How long does it take to get through the Shatterfields?
Well, assuming
Stifles the girl.
that none of you touch the strings, and we don't need to go looking for one of you. 16 hours, maybe.
Oh, okay. Well,
I mean, you could try to get lucky and just teleport yourself to the other side, but
to be honest, I don't think we would know what the other side is.
Also, can you teleport? Can you?
have you never been to where you're going?
Nope.
No.
I've been on the wrong side of the mountain.
So let me get this straight. Y'all aren't from the Divine Court, but you're going in that direction. All
Don't
right.
ask us. There is no idea.
Billy just like points to the badge, like.
We're on a mission.
Well, all right. They're not really fond of visitors.
So we've been told.
Well, this might help for a little bit. Minka's gonna cast Longstrider on the turtle.
So what does that increase the speed by?
10 feet.
10 feet. Who has a speed of 35?
I do.
Okay, so he is now as fast as you guys.
Yeah.
He's just booking it along. All of a sudden, he's just like, whoa, I got a little pep in my step. Thank you, Conde. And he's just like moving along. And actually, now that he's moving a little faster, I will say you can hear as he puts the crutch down. He's probably just not going to use it as much because he's going a little faster. He's going to pull it around on his back, and you can hear at this moment there is a slight sound of like hollowness. And I would say for you, Cheshire, you recognize instantly this is an instrument of some kind. But continues moving along.
I wish to minor illusion replicate it.
Okay. It's so right now it's just wrapped in like linens and things like that.
Sure.
Make a
More the sound than anything, not necessarily the.
okay. Make a perception check.
18?
So as you listen to it, it's a brief moment where he's like walking and he slings it across his back, and you hear this boom, and you hear just the faintest bit of like a string maybe, and you've never heard anything quite like this, and so instantly this is not like a lute or there must be some element of magic to it because it has a sound that is very unlike anything that you've heard. That being said, no real idea, but a string instrument.
Alright.
So he continues making his way. Who is leading the way with him?
I'd probably follow behind him.
Okay.
Because I'm like, I don't want to be here.
I'll walk next to him.
This guy's legit.
Presumably Valis has found like a newt or something that he's holding an extended conversation with.
Yeah, he's just walking around with one of these stone leeches, and the leech is just kind of like going like this on his hand.
He's
And
like, just have a little bit, okay?
it'd be much cooler if you do. So you continue to make your way forward. Ori, make a survival check.
Oh, that's cool. 17.
17. Okay. So you begin to walk, and as you travel, you can see the landscape does begin to shift a little bit, and the huge jutting stones become much smaller and much more crumbling and just elements of debris. This seems to be a little bit more of like a broken down area, but here and there are still these little like jutting outcrops of stone. And as you pass close to an area where there are two that seem to form almost like a gateway, you, Ori, see for the very first time, it doesn't tie around the stone, it just seems to disappear into it, but it is just a strand of red string. It disappears into one stone diagonally across, and it's kind of hard to see because it is just a mundane thread in a dark field. And as your eyes adjust, you see 2 or 3 more. They're not like heavily interspersed, but you do notice there are a few in like shadows of places. They are a little tricky to see.
So, red strings. Do I, like, what, have I heard anything about anything like this before?
This is less like...
Because it seems like it's something that's naturally occurring from these...
Make a nature check.
Or, you know, like, if the strings are sort of disappearing into the... Do I get my knowledge thing?
Yes, actually.
Ooh.
And also, I do want to take this opportunity to say hello, Gunnar. I hope your week is better. I don't get to read chat very quickly, and so I didn't see that you're having a rough week last week. Hope you're doing well.
18.
18. With an 18, thinking about like you've never seen rock produce string before, and so that doesn't seem especially natural, and you begin to think about what you've heard about this place. This is a battlefield, an ancient battlefield between powerful magical forces. And so in the same way that in regular kind of mundane battles there's arrows left behind and things like that, this is
residual magics.
seems to be.
Okay.
Wow. Minka's gonna think about this, the potential symbology of a red string kind of throughout there as she just focuses really hard on not touching any of them.
Yeah. When you think about that, are you thinking about it from more of like a magical standpoint, more of like a cultural standpoint, or more of like a religious standpoint?
I think it would be more of like a cultural standpoint. Kind of think about like, if like that out of the way for the future. History, a 12.
With a 12, I mean, for red strings, you've heard of the weave. This is how all magic supposedly operates, and maybe it has something to do with that. You know, residual magic. These are maybe like broken strands of the weave. Hard to tell. And with that roll, you're not real confident in that.
Hey, Ori.
Yeah.
Do you think this turtle would know?
As like Minka's just like staring like this around the ground.
Watch your step.
Yeah, I'm trying. Do you think this turtle, sir? No. Nojdido. That doesn't sound right. Okay. Would know anything about a flute because he has these little chimes. Those are a similar construction. Maybe he would know.
Maybe. Yeah.
Maybe worth asking, especially if we're gonna be here for a while.
Not quite the same. Good idea, though. Thanks for that.
Or I really tried. So, you make your way for about like an hour, 2 hours, and as you are going, you're seeing more and more of these strands, but never does it get to a point where it feels like it's caged in. This isn't like spider webs, and in a way that's almost more hazardous because it feels like you're in the clear, and then all of a sudden you're about to step, and like Ori stops you, or Nojdido will stop you, and just like there is a string exactly in the shadow of a rock, or that is like between, like in the mud and just barely, so that you could just see the top in certain parts. There are a lot of these that are pretty tricky, but with Ori's check, you make it through for the first section. Who is leading the second journey, or second leg of this journey? You get to sort of the lip of one of these basins, and you can see the landscape shifts to be a little bit more jagged now, and this is a place where these strings get a little denser.
All right. I think Pink at this point is just like on such high alert. She's gonna probably be in the front. Yes!
Nice.
It's a natural 24, total of 27.
So Minka, you lead the group through kind of pulling up alongside Nojdaido, and you pass these like stone pillars, and you can see instantly as you get close to them, there's almost like a Z pattern, and it's very like when Nojdaido walks, you've seen him kind of walking with a limp, and he almost just walks straight through it. But and for him, that's very easy. It's like very clear this is like what he's always done. It doesn't seem like it even occurs to him to like warn you guys about some of these things. But luckily you see it, no problem. You can alert other people, unless you don't want to.
String.
So Minka points out string between the pillars.
It could have been your apotheosis as the big bad of this campaign.
You get to a
And
point
everyone says,
where there is like a huge like size of like a maybe like a house, like a boulder, and underneath there's an area where erosion has like dug away, and there's like a deep cave with only about a foot of clearance, and you see at the very bottom of it like a red string, kind of a weird place for it to be, but no problem. And with that check, you see the first elements of mud that really begin to populate like the lower parts of some of these basins, and you can see very quickly there are places where it twitches, and those are definitely leeches, and you do not want to go anywhere near those.
And Mega's just going, strings, leeches,
Strings, leeches.
Is there anything that people are doing over the next 3 hours as Minka very adeptly takes all of their attention away from rocks for the first time and turns it elsewhere?
Billy's taking up the rear and just like constantly like.
Make a perception check.
Oh, buddy.
Narratively, you know, this will be great. Because I got a 9.
It's hard because you're like on guard and then you hear strings and you have to turn around and like see what's happening. And so that really makes it hard to pay attention. Bill, you don't have a great look behind you as you guys are going. Is anybody else doing anything?
Just really watching where I'm putting my hooves. I don't think Alina would choose to spend too much energy doing anything other than that.
I'd say probably just, you know, giving moral support to Minka, being like, you're doing a great job.
No worries. So with that, you make your way past the next 4 hours. At this point, 8 hours has elapsed, and you get to a point about like halfway through. How long does Longstrider last, by the way?
Only like an hour.
Yeah, so
But she'll probably cast it. She'll probably keep casting it just because they're not really doing anything else.
Okay.
And he is a slow turtle.
he is a very slow turtle, so no problem.
That's 4 instances within the 8
Dang,
hours.
okay, so you are flying this turtle along. You make your way pretty rapidly then, and you end up after 8 hours on a field of like flat slate. And there are areas here where you can see like cracks and all kinds of elements. And I would say the last thing that you see with this natural 20 at the end of this journey, this slate, though it is like flat and there are cracks and everything, there is like a pretty big cavity beneath, and were you to walk straight across elements of this, you would fall through. And so, though it does take you about 10 minutes, you avert around. And at about that edge, Nojdaido is going to just sort of say, I need to stop for a break. I just need to eat something, and then we can get moving again. 10 minutes. And he kind of like sits down and just like pulls out some food. He'll offer you like it doesn't look especially good, but it's some kind of a crumbly bread-like thing. More
Bread-like thing.
it's closer to granola than bread, but it was supposed to be bread. You can see it works.
I've made that bread before.
Yeah, me too. Based on a true story.
Could I think I'd offer him some of the leftover fish from the trip over.
Oh, don't mind if I do. And he grabs that. He looks at it for a little bit and just says, it's been a long time since I've had fish.
It's relatively freshly roasted.
Thank you.
Such a
Who
way
is-
with words aren't worry.
Who is leading the third leg of this
To
journey?
be honest with him.
I'll take a turn.
Okay. So, Alina, make a survival check.
It's in the carrot thing. Oh no.
That's got Kara's luck.
Pretty good survival though. Oh no, I'm not. 6.
As you are taking off from this slate sort of field, as Nojdaido packs up his stuff, he turns to you guys and he says, now we're getting to a part of these fields where if you cast magic, and I appreciate what you're doing, if you cast it not well, the spell has a chance of coming alive. So just cast it. It's not gonna be friendly, but just maybe keep it to a little bit of a minimum.
How's that anyway?
So begins to make your way off. Perfect time for a 6. As you lead the group on, everybody go ahead and make a dexterity saving throw.
Another 6. Tara, why did I roll?
Stop using mine. They're cursed.
Is this against a magical effect?
It is.
Is it against
Advantage.
being charmed?
It is not.
I'm fine though.
It's a dirty 20 for Billy.
Fantastic. Who rolled below a 15? Minka? Oh, Minka. Minka, can you roll a D100, please?
Yes.
Are you gonna get a 100?
Bro, right, would I?
Back to back 100s would be pretty wild.
At that point, I'd be like, let's like pack up.
Go get a lottery ticket or something.
37.
It's the commune. That's what we're getting. Oh, never mind. It wasn't 100. Sorry, Emily.
So all of a sudden, so you're walking, you're leading the group, you're trying your best, but like you don't see all these strings. You have no idea how Minka was just string. And at that point, Minka, you like following a little bit further back now, you see that Will's maybe not doing the best job, and so you're going to start pointing things at it. And you see a string. You touch it, and disappear. Minka, all of a sudden, you appear underneath an outcropping of stone. And all of a sudden, there is these bats, 2 or 3 bats just out from this like little tiny outcrop. And you're like hands and knees, it's low. But you startle them out from underneath. And could you make another dexterity saving throw as you start? You sort of get right next to another string.
Does it always take you to the same place?
No.
14?
14, go ahead and make a D100.
I'm going on an adventure, guy.
He turns and he just goes, does what?
Does the string, if you touch the same one, does it go to the same place?
I mean, sometimes.
42.
With a 42. Okay, fantastic. Go ahead and roll a D100. And, Jesus. Okay, so interestingly, as Ori grabs this, Minka, right back on the slate,
what
field,
did you
about
roll?
50 feet behind the rest of the group. You can see the areas that are all cracked and broken, and you see just in time, Ori turn to Nojdaido, say something, and then disappear.
Hey, she's back.
38.
38. Phenomenal. You reappear underneath this outcropping. Luckily, you're alone. There's no creatures. There's nothing there. The sand does seem a little disturbed recently. Actually, there's like a little bit in the air. Weird. But you turn to the left. There is a string right there. And so if you touch it, you're going to teleport.
Scenarios.
At this point, back in the group, Minka's like 50 feet behind, Ori disappears, and Nojdaido goes, guys, please stop. And he begins to take this like the instrument off his back. Are you making your way over to the rest of the group?
Yeah.
Are you hurrying or are you taking your time?
I think Minka's just gonna be like tiptoeing and be like, no more strings, no more strings.
Yeah. Go ahead and make a perception check. And this is not the strings.
Okay.
Hello? Anyone?
I
Is there anything else besides
21.
the string?
1 second. So with the 21, you very easily see the cracked elements of slate, and you walk around the parts that would cave in. And as you do, you kind of peer in. There might be a cool rock, and so you look, and you can see there are areas where at some point this must have been submerged because there are stalagmites that come out, and were you to fall through, this is basically like a spike pit. But you're fine. You walk through the field. And as you do, you get to a point where you can see Nojdaido is like telling people not to touch anything. He pulls this instrument out from the back, and you actually see Ori like out. So like right now you're in this little like cave thing. About 10 feet in front of you is like the open field, and so you can just like crawl out and be back. What you see in front of you, not familiar. It's just other rocks and mud. It's the same general terrain, but you've never been here before.
Okay.
Now, Nojdaido is going to pull out from behind him this kind of wrapped up object and slowly pulls the linen away. And you can see he pulls out a maple timbre. Stands about 3.5 feet tall, and it is strung with the same red filaments that you have seen go from rock to rock and the ones that teleport you. And he disappears directly into the wood. There is no like tuning pegs or anything like that. Very similar to the kind of stones that you've seen. And he is going to turn to all of you guys and he's going to say, you need to touch me. And if you let go when we move, we're going to have to come back all the way around again. So please just hold tight.
Telepathically, I'm like, Raz, hold on. Hold on, Raz.
It's like, oh, I'm way ahead of you there. And you feel this like tight little like imp grip on your shoulder. But Nojdaido is going to, everybody's touching?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Ori, you call out, is anybody there? You like start crawling your way out.
Mika!
He touches the strings, and the first time that he touches the strings, you are suddenly, all of you, this is like the strum, you are on an 18-foot pillar of stone. He like looks around for a second and like, you are just barely able to fit on this like little pillar, and he just goes, oh, whoops, strum again, and suddenly you are in a deep cave. It is dark. It goes from being bright to dark all at once, and you hear like the faint drip of water somewhere in the distance, and he just says, not this one. Strums it again. You are in a puddle of mud. Strums it again. You are in the middle of this sort of like long ledge that seems to bridge two different gaps, and there is mud beneath you. He strums it again. You are in the middle of like a primary road. He strums it again, and you are at the bottom of a wide basin with about 1,000 pebbles, and all of you begin to stumble because these are like ball bearings, and he strums it again as he almost falls. And Ori, suddenly as you crawl out, all of you into this little cave-like area where you are like almost all like pushed prone.
There you are.
Several of you bump your heads, and Nojdaido is just on the ground. The shell wedges into the rocks. And he just goes, well, this is unfortunate.
At about the second time this happens, Chester's just giggling maniacally.
Glad I got out of
He is facing like inward, and you guys can all climb out, no problem. But his shell is like stuck in between the stones.
Billy's freaking out.
Oh.
No.
Okay, all right.
No.
everyone-
Okay. No.
Okay,
No.
Is there anything I can do from the
magic,
outside
no
to like
magic.
help unwedge him?
You can
God,
see
you're right.
all of you, no
magic,
problem.
no,
getting out. But Billy right now, freaking out.
Billy, calm down.
No.
It's fine.
No.
Alina's gonna go try to tend to Billy. Probably maybe doing some like, tell me 5 things you can see, 4 things you can smell, you
These
know.
are some grounding techniques, 3-point
Yeah,
control.
yeah. Presumably not the
is he
first
facing
time
me or is he
Alina
facing
has
me?
done this for Billy.
So you crawled out.
Yeah.
You were
So I'm on
outside,
the
and they all
outside.
appeared behind you in that same cave.
Right. And is
He is facing
plugging it?
into the cave.
Oh, okay.
So you're looking at his shell.
Can I like try to
Make an athletics
unblock
check.
it or
Yeah, go for
something
it.
to like free
So
him?
Billy, as you freak out, Lori's like, "Oh, I better help this turtle." He goes and starts like trying to get him out.
Hey!
We're all like
Use your,
we're all squinched
22.
in the cave, right?
Well, Minka makes her way out. Anybody who wants to can make their way out. It's not hard.
Oh, I thought we were all like.
You are wedged in.
Oh, yeah, no.
but we are on the side with the opening that we
Correct.
can
You
just
can like
walk out.
you have to crawl your way out, but it's
So Alina
very
probably is going to be like, come on, see, there's the opening. Okay.
And Billy, for you,
Tell me to
you can feel like the little bits of sand like falling down on you as you walk. Though there hasn't been plant life here, there is old dead roots and things that scrape across your back, and it is immensely uncomfortable. And you remember that book.
22 to pull him out.
With the 22,
Unstick him.
you try to wedge him out.
I'd try to like pop him forward, I guess, if it's easier.
Okay, so you watch as Ori like is there. This is like the thing in
it's
the
like,
anime
I
where
don't know, it
briefly
feels
he's like on one side, and then on the other side, then on the top, and like trying to tug him out. And then Ori, eventually you like crawl all the way back. You put your back against the cave, and with your legs you shove him out. He's like, wait, and he just
Hold on.
disappears into the
There you
shell,
go.
and then you just shove him out. And it's not very far, but he does like a little bit into the
Little
sand.
side beat.
No problem.
Oh, is he okay?
I think
I'm fine. And then the head slowly emerges, and the legs and the arms.
Where did you go?
Oh, I think actually here.
Oh, so it does bring you to the same spot.
Is everybody else leaving the cave? Okay.
Still
And-
giggling.
And then
You watch as he gets down on his hands and knees and slowly crawls back into the cave.
back.
He crawls
Wait.
back in?
Yep.
Oh,
Wait,
so we going back?
What are you doing?
No.
I'm
No.
getting my timbre.
Oh, why don't you let one of us go get it for you?
I got it, but I'm stuck. And so now his legs are like flat out in the back, and his shell is now again wedged in.
Can I pull him out or something?
He's gonna say, "Well, I mean, we could just all leave at the same time, or
That's what we were trying to do.
Lead on, Turtle Man! Back in and touch him.
Okay. So I mean, are you got human chain your way out so Billy doesn't have to go back in?
Yeah.
I'm gonna let her hold on to my tail.
Okay.
Or we're gonna hold on together, and he's gonna teleport us again, and hopefully none of us throw up. Hold tight.
What?
Billy, roll a d100.
Which one of us is throwing up now?
20.
20. So, 20, all of you, and suddenly you are on a long, flat stretch of just ground that kind of winds between these low areas. It's almost like a ridge line that rises up. This seems to be pretty well traveled, although here there is little elements of fog that do drift in and out of these basins. And for those of you who have been told about these shadows, it's difficult because when they go across, the very little light that is here does cast bits of shadow. And so with the fog moving across, there is all of a sudden quite a bit of movement in front of you. But looking around, you can see Nojado seems pretty pleased about this, and he says, "From here, this is an easy one."
Oh, that's good.
Good.
Yeah.
So what
We're all together, right? Like,
Yeah. You guys are like all in like a string along this pathway.
Is this still
I can let go of my tail now.
a no magic zone? Are we past that?
Turns and looks around. No, but stay on the ridge and you'll be fine.
Stay on the ridge. No touching
Okay.
the strings. No touching the strings.
Oh, it was an accident.
No.
Okay.
Fair.
Well, and to be fair, he didn't go anywhere bad.
That's true. It worked out.
Mm-hmm.
It's no harm, no foul. Really.
No, I think is just still awkwardly holding hands or whatever she was holding hands with. Just hasn't let go yet.
You're still holding hands. Billy still seems pretty freaked out. And so he turns around, he's looking at like the very nervous group. He's going to say, "You all really lucked out. You could have ended up there." And he turns and points behind him. And for the first time, if you look behind him, looming up in the distance, there is what looks like at the bottom of a basin, a huge... The way that it rises up makes it look almost like a stone tulip. There are these huge outcrops of rockings that are like 1, 2, 3, and just barely through in the spaces between them, you can see some element of ruins, maybe a tower, maybe a castle, something like that. But even as he points, Nojdaido shivers a little bit. You hear the wind chimes all tingle a little extra.
Yeah.
And he says, "That's the bad place.
Told you it was spooky here.
It's spooky there.
What's over there?
That's where the shadows come from. Come on." And he continues along. He's like starting to wrap his timbre back up.
That's it. It's just where the shadows come from.
He turns, and as he's walking, are you guys walking and talking?
Yeah.
He says, "A long time ago it was a fortress, till it got overrun by the Dark One. And then it became the place where all the shadows come from."
Was this recently? Like within the last couple decades? Or like
No.
when the Dark One originally came around?
When the Dark One originally came around.
Okay, well, at least we know that's not new.
Continues to walk. Who is going to be helping to lead this last leg of the journey? Okay, Billy, make a survival check. And it's starting to get pretty late. Many of you are beginning to get pretty tired. Maybe Billy's really tired, it looks like.
13.
13.
It's not a 6, but it's certainly no natural 20.
Yeah, but you're really lucky you ended up here. So now that you are on this ridge line, there are no stones that jut up around you. There are none of these basins that you have to walk through. This is almost like the top of a dune. And so, though it isn't very wide, you do have to walk kind of like one wide and like a single file line. You are the Tuscan Raiders hiding your numbers. You have no real problems finding these strings. And so for you, Billy, there aren't any to really fall into. And so you make the last bit of your journey without any real issue. Although, Billy, there is a point where you feel like you are being watched. With that check, you have no idea from where. It doesn't give you any inkling, but you just have this feeling. And you have to turn and look at the rest of your party because it's almost like you feel this expectation, but nothing bad happens. You make your way. You make your way until it is getting close to like 10 p.m. And you find that you are at the very, very edge. Of where all these stones are. And Nojdaido turns to you. He stops. And looking at you, Billy, he says, "You know, you're not so bad at this. You seem like a good leader." And he turns and looks at all of you and he says, "Your friend here has helped us get to safety, and it's not too much further." At this moment, it is close to like 10 p.m. And Nojdaido is going to say, "If you don't mind, I was going to camp for the evening. Be safer in numbers."
Well, seems. I guess I can keep watch.
It's fine with me.
So the chimes you got there, you need to like, is it just any old noise or just those chimes?
It's the celestial, and he like holds them up, and you can see these intricate carvings. I don't know what all of them mean, but my father taught me them and passed them down.
So, should I borrow them for the night?
He kind of like pulls them a little closer, and he just
how
says,
does it work? Not like I don't want to steal them, mate. I just want to make sure that it was safe.
What I thought.
Oh,
Now you should.
well,
Gotta watch this one.
I'm just trying to keep the group safe.
You've all proven that you can make your way just fine. I think I'll find somewhere a little safer for the evening. But it was nice meeting all of you, and let Hearsome know that I helped out. And slowly he begins to like unravel this timbre again.
We can't. You sure we can't convince you to stay?
He turns and looks at Ori.
He means he really is nice.
I'm sure, but can't really get these back, and it's a long way home.
Well, we can have multiple people hold watch.
So that we could stay safe.
Oh, I know, buddy. I know.
Make a persuasion check.
Yeah.
He's like holding this timbre now. He's like pretty much ready to go.
27. 27.
He gets really close to you and he just says, "I don't trust this one."
Don't worry, it'll be fine.
And he gets up, and you can see slowly he begins to take all the little chimes off of his like sleeve, and his arm disappears into the shell and then reappears. And he takes them off the other sleeve, and he's just taking them all off, and he's gonna hide them anyways. But no worries. So he tucks himself in, and then he just says, "Good night, everybody," and just into the shell.
Oh, wow.
That's actually pretty convenient.
From inside, you hear, "Oh no."
That's cool.
I'll take the first watch with you. We definitely want our friend to feel comfortable.
Alright, whatever.
I like to imagine that Ori during the first watch is just like
How
Our sulky baby boy.
you just told this guy that you just met this guy 16 hours ago, and you're like, I'm not gonna steal your stuff. Go to sleep. Like
Because everyone's always thinking that I'm gonna steal their stuff when I'm really just trying to help.
he didn't. He had no inkling that you were gonna steal his stuff until you specifically said, "Hey,
Because
bro,
every time
I'm not
before,
gonna
it's
steal
because they think I'm gonna steal their
You
stuff.
never met this guy before. You
Do
had no
something
idea.
to
He
him.
liked you.
I just have good intentions. All these people just take it the wrong way, and then you make it worse.
I will say Chester does make it worse, certainly.
I
But
think Ori has the worst foot and mouth syndrome
He is a
I've seen in a long time.
Alina and Ori, the two of you are going to take the first watch?
Yeah.
Phenomenal. So is there anything that other people are doing before they settle in for the evening?
I'm putting myself on the other side of Billy from
Okay.
Ori,
Okay.
so that way Billy is between us.
It's good to have a barrier. Anybody else? Okay.
No.
Ori, Alina, go ahead and make perception checks.
I got a 10.
Okay.
I got a 15. Passive is 19.
You keep saying that, but it's a 15.
Just, you know.
It's called you're being distracted by having a little
Passively,
sulky
yeah.
tantrum.
Passively, I feel like a 19, but I'm rolling a 15.
You're really keeping a good lookout, but every now and then you just look over at the shell and you're like, that motherfucker. And it really does take
I'm
your
making it
attention.
look like I'm paying really good attention, but it's really just because I'm furrowing my brow. I'm like,
So you look over Billy and you can see Ori is really on watch. And so that, or sorry, not Billy, Alina. And so that lets you relax a little bit, and you don't have to be quite as on guard apparently.
He takes his watch really seriously.
Really seriously. And so no problem. And in fact, Alina, with that roll, like you relax a little too much, and there are points in their watch where you are not quite awake. Ori, as you are sort of keeping this watch, you look over, and in the middle of the night, maybe 2 a.m, you see Alina has fallen asleep. It's just you.
Shoot.
Everybody else is just sleeping. Is there anything that you're doing?
No, I don't want to. I want to see what this guy's up to, but I also don't want to make him feel more suspicious of me. So I think I'm just gonna actually keep watch and think about stuff.
So you actually keep watch. You think about things. 4 hours pass. Right at the very end of your watch, Ori, you're about to go and wake up the next person, figure out who is going to bear this burden. And as you do, you can see somebody else is already awake. And so you turn and move over, but at this moment, you realize nobody has moved. Lojdido is there. You can see the very pink form of Cheshire on the other side of Billy, who is still there. And Honkshu, you see Alina, certainly still there. You see Minka, and then you turn, and there's nobody else. But you could swear that there was. Are you doing anything?
Was it a shadow? I'm gonna wake up Alina and be like, hey.
Oh man.
Go tell the Nojdido, ring his bells. Something weird around here.
Okay. Kind of feel like you could have done that, but
Well, he doesn't trust me now, so.
Oh, that's fair. So I'm gonna go wake Nojdido up.
Okay. As you wake Nojdido up, you go over. There's a point where you can just hear from your shoulder in your mind, Alina,
What?
there's something weird out here.
Yeah, I know. Or he just said.
No, there's a bunch of weird things out here.
Okay. Say more.
Bells.
Huh?
Ring the bells.
I'm still going to wake him up,
Okay,
and I'm
yeah.
listening too.
So you make your way across, and you can go and wake him up. But Rez says, there's something that smells off, and it comes and it goes, but it's weird. Not like us, not like you, something different. Not like you.
Okay, I'm gonna like take a sniff.
Okay, make a perception check.
Paradise is not doing well tonight. 7.
You need to get it away from me.
The wind blows in a little bit, and all that you can smell maybe is like product that somebody has. You smell maybe like geraniums. It's hard to tell. Mud, rock, atmosphere. Not a whole lot of anything else. But Rez says, no, I really think there's something out here.
No, I
Can I use my eye for detail to find hidden objects?
Make a
or
perception
creatures?
check. Or is that investigation or perception?
It's perception for hidden creatures and objects.
Not your nose for duplicity.
That's a bonus feature.
That's a 10th level thing.
24.
Okay. There was I will say there was a homebrew item that you guys had a brief chance to get, and it was something that would have given Ori a benefit to smell, so he could have actually had. And I can't remember what it was. It was like
It's
it was like a nose. I think it was a nose for danger or something like that. But
Have a nose for danger?
Yeah.
I could have had that.
different way. You go and you wake Nojado, and from within you could hear this little ting as he just goes, whoa, what? And the legs like pop out. And Ori, as that happens, you see the darkness just proceed a little bit.
Okay. So it was.
We think something spooky might be happening.
This shadows. When you got up, that just retreated a bit.
He's gonna get up and like slowly stretch, and like every time he moves inside of his shell, you can hear like a little ting 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 because they're all still in there. But he's gonna look around. I don't see anything.
Right, but I did.
I definitely feel like something weird is going on too.
All right, then something weird's probably going on.
Mental high five to Rez.
We should wake everybody up and start moving.
Yeah, okay. I'll go wake up Billy.
I'll go wake up Minka, and then I'll be like, missed opportunity.
Can everybody roll a d20?
Why did I roll the Kara die?
Stop doing
I
it!
just
Flat
picked
Taking it
another.
away.
I'm
Taking
sorry.
it away.
It was another 6.
It's a 16.
Okay. Who's going to wake up Minka?
I was.
Okay. Or you walk around to the place where Minka is sleeping, and as you do, you had seen all these like shadows recede, all but one. As you approach Minka, you can see stretching away from her shadow, but it looms up at a right angle. It's directly underneath, and you can see it's as if they're just staring. There's no movement, there's no flicker, there's no wave like most creatures have. This is still in a way that is unnerving, but because it is 8 o'clock, this is where we're going to take a quick break because we are going to be rolling into initiative.
Yay!
It's unfortunate that you...
Can I like yell as free action? Like, Minka!
There was almost, when you guys got out of the field, there was almost no way that this was going to happen until you scared him into taking his little charms off.
God damn it.
That was literally it. Would you guys like to see a little visual reference before we get a break?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh man, I'm
Come
so
on,
glad
Ori.
Rika's haunted.
You guys almost did it. You almost so close. I was rooting for you. So, I will say,
It makes it more
they
interesting.
do
Right?
start attaching at this point, and so you will say that there are more than
Now we'll have nice bonding moments with Rajdaido.
And they don't really make like good muddy like mats, and so this is mostly mud, not sand.
Look at how spoopy these guys are.
Sorry. Here, I think it's gonna need to go this way.
There we go. Look at that. And so you can see a little bit of this battlefield, but you can see it much closer at Alberon RPG on Instagram, probably tomorrow. So we are going to step away for a quick break, and then when we return in 10 minutes, we'll be rolling initiative. We'll see you then. Howdy, folks. Welcome back to Courts of Everest. We are all absolutely fine, doing great. If you are just
Nobody
joining
drank
us,
an old drink.
nobody drank an old drink whatsoever. And
It wasn't me.
my Elgato decided to freeze. Oh, again. Oh, well, we were doing so well, too. Okay,
Still
so
doing okay.
everybody can go ahead and roll for initiative. I'm going to go ahead and put some music on. I'm going to go over and change the scene manually.
Do you wanna? Where do you wanna be, Tina?
Appropriate.
Opposite side of Billy from Ori.
Oh, that's right.
Always.
I rolled a natural one.
Yeah,
Hey,
I did okay.
Beautiful.
I'm down at the bottom with you.
That actually makes sense.
Makes sense. I got okay. I don't think I have anything that's gonna be able to stop shadows. I can light a torch.
See, I was thinking that of just like, oh man, there are so many things we could do, but it's like if we're still in like the bad magic zone.
I've learned it is a software issue now. Good to know. Okay. So,
All about right.
for all of you, who rolled anybody natural 20?
Wait, I haven't rolled yet. No.
Anybody 25 to 20?
Dirty 20.
20 is
Very nice. Who has a higher dex?
19.
20.
Look at that. Okay. So we're going to start with Ori and then Cheshire. Anybody 20 to 15? Ooh, love that. Okay. Give me 1 second here. Anybody 15 to 10? Ooh.
11 for Alina
11 for
and 12 for Raz, annoyingly.
Rez. And then 10 to 5?
9.
Okay. Minka, I noticed that you're not on the board yet. Where are you?
I may rolled natural one for
Oh,
a
of
grand
course.
total of 4.
And then for-
Somehow, this is narratively appropriate.
Okay, so the way that this works, Ori is starting us off, followed by Cheshire, followed by the Shadows, followed by Rez, followed by Alina, followed by Nojdaido, followed by Billy, followed by Minka. Wow, big group. So, Ori, what would you like to do? You turn around and this creature just right over Minka. They look like they're about to seize them.
Free action, Minka! And then steady aim, gonna try to shoot at this thing.
Make your attack roll.
And the wise words of Hannah Hongshu.
I'm so sorry that you must participate in the hongshu.
That's gonna be 18 on the die plus.
We were talking about that while you guys were outside.
26?
Yeah, 26 absolutely hurts.
Need the thing
Okay,
from,
and that's a
Machine. Yeah,
sneak
exactly.
attack because I used steady aim.
Yeah.
So,
Constantly exhausted.
yes, it's gonna be 17 points of piercing damage.
And because it's piercing damage, you get the sense that it's not quite the amount that you want. You see it hits and it slows as it passes through. Definitely
wait.
does damage, but not quite as much.
I have plus another 6 because I got another sneak attack die.
So what's the total?
It was 24.
Okay. So 12. And anything else, Ori?
That's it for me.
As you pull up, you can see Minka about to be grabbed by the shadow. And so in a quick motion, you pull out your bow and you fire. It passes straight through. Seems to do a tiny bit of damage. But that is your turn, Ori.
Minka, wake
Cheshire.
up!
Go ahead and make a perception check.
I don't like this.
19.
It's a spooky.
Do that thing where you glow.
With a 19, as an action, you wake up.
So I suppose just a quick glance around. Do I notice what's going on?
Quick glance around, I would say you see this one shadow looming over Minka. The other one's not quite in your focus yet, but certainly with Ori focusing on it.
Ori! I'm just gonna lay there.
Okay, no problem. Free action. You lay there. That is your turn, Cheshire. That brings us to the shadows. So the one that is over you, Minka, looming over top, is going to take an attack, and you were sleeping, so presumably you're laying down.
Unless
Actually,
you
Minka
sleep like
sleeps
a cow?
standing up.
No.
Yeah.
She's an air genasi, so
Does a
they
17
sleep standing up
hit?
because usually they float.
A
There it is.
17 does in fact hit.
It is
So Minka, you are taking
Uh huh.
8 points of necrotic damage,
Great.
and give me a second here. Oh gosh, all of my d4s are gone.
Quick, give Joe your D4s. It'll be good luck. You can have this one that looks like bubble tea.
I found one.
Pull it up.
Minka.
Really sharp though, I actually.
I dropped it right back into my dice tray.
Oh, yes.
So sharp.
Minka, your strength score decreases by 1.
Oh man, that's gonna be a real problem real soon if that keeps happening.
This shadow just gloms onto you, and you can feel as this darkness touches you, you startle awake, and instantly this being begins to disperse into your pores and into your body and suck the oxygen and the very life from you. But this creature continues to pull. You are... That is going to... You feel like this is going to stick with you for some time. That is that one. Let's see here. So...
We have gotten a wheel and a woe.
Yes, I know.
Okay.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. We're gonna take this wheel slow.
I don't know.
Maybe the
looks like
Spooky
they're
Boys
gonna-
will leave us alone.
Looks like they're trying to go
Oh,
real fast.
it almost
and-
looks like the shadows are concentrating their fire.
Well, they're all really close to work. So this one is standing in the rock, but it can still strike you.
It's like in the rock? Oh. My watch. Okay. Scared me. Sorry. They're so fast.
They're most of them are dashing.
They're still fast.
So
Why
that
can't
is
they
still
be slow
enough.
spooky shadows?
So that as all of a sudden, or you fire this arrow, and it's like as it goes through the creature, all around you, these shadows detach from the wall, and they in. You don't even see them move. They don't walk. They don't glide. They just are, and they just appear in the space all around you. One hits you, Minka. There's one that is going to take an attack against you, Ori. That is going to be a 17 to hit.
Pizza, pizza.
All right.
Ooh. Well, I'll wait for the hit. And...
Ori, you are taking 13 points of necrotic damage.
Cool. I'm gonna go ahead and uncanny dodge.
Very nice. And your strength score is reduced by 2.
Oh, so does it get halved by my uncanny
No, it
dodge?
does not. This is not based on damage. This is its own separate roll.
Cool. My strength score.
Strength score. As it grabs onto you, you feel the warmth pulled from your body. It is like you are exposed to a vacuum to your soul, and it just yanks out, and you almost sink to your ground, to your knees. But that is that attack, and then there is one more that is going to get an attack, I believe, on Alina.
Do you like die if you get to a 0 strength?
You do, in
score?
fact, yes.
That's what I thought.
Alina, that is a natural 20. And so as this
that
creature disappears through the rock and reappears grabbing onto you, you are going to take only 14 points of necrotic damage.
Only.
Lucky.
That is so lucky. And your strength score is reduced by 2. This grabs onto you, and Ori, all of a sudden, you are being grabbed. You see Minka being swarmed. You see Alina being swarmed. Everybody just seized by shadows in an instant. You can see Nojida looking around like, if only he had these charms. But that is all of the shadows' turn. That brings us to Rez, followed by Alina.
So did anyone not dump their strength stat?
Yeah, oh really? All right. Rez presumably is gonna be like, all right, what do we practice? Or whatever, and he's going to, I guess he'll take the help action and he'll try to distract the one that is currently glomming onto me
Okay.
because he's a homie.
No problem. So he goes, "No, Alina!" and just starts like grabbing on. And you see his little arms like pass through this creature. He's trying as best as he
he's
can, and that
trying
definitely
so
works
hard.
as a help action. But anything else for Rez?
No.
Alrighty, Alina, what would you like to do? Those Dido's on deck. Oh, I have to get his sheet.
This is horrible.
Okay.
I'm gonna.
Just taking pictures of our death. That's fine.
I gotta see
What
where
you doing,
Us and the
Alina?
Victorians.
All right.
Death photos.
I'm gonna. Shit, remember the 5-foot step? I love the 5-foot step. I'm going to turn and cast Hex on the guy that old homie is distracting, and then just shoot an Eldritch Blast right into his stupid face.
Point blank range.
Yeah, which should be cool, but instead it's
Not as cool. Yeah, it's unfortunate.
yeah.
Go ahead and make your attack roll.
All right. That's gonna be. The first one is a natural 1,
Okay.
and the second being another natural 1.
No, and it's the
natural
same
one.
one. Also cursed. This
Can you
is
make a
going away.
dexterity saving throw for Rez, who is currently grabbing onto this creature?
Oh.
I can.
What is it?
Well, it's a 4 on the die.
Take this back. 6 is better.
7.
Roll damage for that attack.
No.
Oh man, unfortunate timing. So as Rez is grabbing onto this, you could hear he just goes, "Alina, I can't seem to grab it. Well, I'm doing my best though." And then you turn and you just
Because
annihilate
I
Rez.
roll max damage on the Eldritch
How much is
Blast. It's well, as 10 on the die. He only has 10 hit points.
Yeah, so just erased in this huge Eldritch Blast. He's just like, "Alina, I can't," and then it just hits him in the hand, and it's just like just ashes and just disappears. At the very end, there's like a as he is a familiar, but no problem.
Sorry.
Anything else, Alina?
No, I think that'll do it. I think I've done enough damage here.
You look over at Minka and you're like, "Is it me now?" That is your turn. That brings us to Nojdaido, who is going to, because all of his weapons are in his shell, he is going to turn, and the closest person to him, I think, is Alina, and he doesn't really know much better. Alina, do you have a weapon like on you?
Just my staff.
Yeah, that works. He's gonna run over and he grabs your staff and he's gonna say, "You have to send him back." And suddenly you feel this pulse through your staff, and your staff will do 3d6 additional radiant damage on your next strike. He has no idea what you can or can't do.
Okay,
and so
that's
you're the
fair.
closest. So he grabs this on, he pulls back, you can see like a smile on his face. He feels like he just did the best thing ever. He's gonna turn and he can't move without provoking an attack of opportunity, so he's gonna stay right there. That is Nozdaido. Billy, what would you like to do? Minka, you're on deck. I always try other battle music, but it's always so slow.
I like the one that's like do do.
Yeah, I know. That's the one I
Billy's gonna
always end up
draw
going
Blood
back to
Moon's
'cause it's
Release.
Go for it.
And light it up with the
Additional
green
tools.
flame blade.
So good.
And slash at. I gotta move, I suppose.
Yeah.
Slash at the dude. Slash.
Make your attack roll.
Not with this dice.
As you step across the sand, the blade ignites as you strike.
Okay. 21.
21 hits.
Yay! That's that. And because I'm. Hold on, 5th level.
Yeah.
Alright, so that's 8 points of magical piercing damage.
Very nice. And that seems to do the full amount.
And 6 points of fire damage.
Second. The fire damage, for what it's worth, doesn't seem to do the full amount, but the rest does. Anything else, Billy?
Billy steps back and kind of shouts at Alina and says,
You just have to hit the thing, bonk it. That's all you gotta do. It's really easy. Okay.
No problem.
And that's a bardic
technically
inspiration.
I knew what it was. That is your turn, Billy. That brings us to Minka. Minka, what do you want to do?
Can I wake up?
You are awake. As this creature attacks you, that definitely wakes you up.
Good. So the first thing Minka's gonna do is, she's gonna invoke the form of the archer,
Okay.
and I'm gonna stand up.
Okay. Half your movement, you stand up.
I'm just trying to see. So there's one behind Ori, and there's one
You are
literally right next to me.
Yes, right next to you.
3 flanking Ori, or 4 flanking Ori, plus the one there.
Okay, so for her, so with that bonus action, this is something I always forget. When you invoke the archer, you can also use that bonus action to attack the same turn.
Yeah, very much like the Crown of Stars.
Getting so she's gonna do that and hit the one behind Ori.
I always just assume it's a mindful choice. Could you stand Minka back up?
I sure can.
And so is the one behind Ori far enough away to shoot?
Yes, that is 10 feet away.
Okay, sweet. So I'm just gonna do that.
So, or after Minka gets struck, Minka lifts up, and it's like the starlight pulls them to their feet. What was that roll?
So it's a grand total of 20 something.
20 something? Yeah, that's a hit.
6. All right, sweet. So it's gonna be radiant damage as I roll. So to make sure it's the right thing. Yes. I have so many things that use all the same dice, so I have to keep looking and be like, it's that one, right? It's that one? Yes. Not amazing. A total of 7
And which one is
radiant
that?
damage. The one that's behind Ori.
The one behind Ori. Okay. And that's the one, or is it the one that you hit?
I hit the one.
No, you hit the one behind Minka. Okay, no problem. So you deal, you said how much?
7 radiant damage.
7 radiant damage, and in fact, that is 14 radiant damage, as that seems to do way more than you imagine. The radiant damage strikes, and as it does, it just across, and you can see for the very first time in the shadow, vague features of maybe a nose or a mouth or eyes, and then just, it's a shadow again. Anything else?
Yes, so that was my bonus action, and for my action, she's gonna turn and go, and shocking grass to the one that's currently on her.
Yeah, make an attack roll.
So. Ooh, that's a natural 20.
Very nice. Yeah, roll damage on that.
Alright.
Also,
so
lovely timing with that.
Yeah, I know, right? Sirenscape. Did you use that?
Not a sponsor.
Not a sponsor.
So that is a total of, so 8 lightning damage.
8 lightning damage, and that doesn't seem to do the full amount that you would want, but it doesn't matter. As Ori already damaged this creature, as you turn and you shock and grasp it, it just, and you can see, you feel like the hand as it grabs you, and that coldness, and the whole body just evaporates away into the wind before the hand is the last thing that just disappears, and they are gone. Anything else?
Touching him?
The one touching me, get the dark one that's in the rocky crevasse. There you go. Yeah.
Get that guy out of here.
Matt, the hardest person to grab that.
Yeah.
That's what I took the picture for.
You got it.
I knew exactly where it was.
All right.
I think Minka's just gonna turn back towards all the other shadows and just be just like she's glowing and just try to hold her arms up and hope she throws it a little bit farther with the light.
30 feet. It actually gets a little higher and a little bit closer in. No problem. So yeah, you cast this and the light expands out, and for all of you now, these shadows are dark. In this space, it is an absence of light, not a shadow cast by anything. But that is your turn, Minka. That brings us to the top of the round. Ori, what would you like to do? Then Cheshire.
Cool. So, given that I'm surrounded by a bunch of them,
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Make a run for it?
bonus action disengage.
Yeah. All right, yeah.
And then scooch back up. I killed one.
Yeah! Woo! That counts, right?
Totally.
Yeah.
Only if that starts to count, then if we go down, then we're done.
That's fair. I take it back.
Oh well.
Sarcastic, so I understand.
You know, actually, I'm right next to Minka,
Yeah.
and the light is like. I'm gonna steady aim again.
Okay.
Oh no, I do have to bonus action disengage so that provoke an attack of opportunity from firing a ranged weapon within 5 feet. So I'm gonna stay within range of Minka's light, but like get out of range of them so that I can take a shot without getting swarmed.
Okay. So you bonus action disengage and you make your way to this like outcrop of rock. And still on the very edge of Minka's light, you take your shot.
Cool. Actually, wait. I can go here and still be within out of range.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go there
Great.
and then take my shot. Nice. 19 plus something, like a 28.
Yeah, that
right?
hits.
Cool. Not sneak attack because it was not an advantage. So that's gonna be 11 points halved.
And this is at which one?
The one that was hitting me from this group over here behind.
Gotcha, that's that guy right there, yeah. Okay, no problem. How much?
It was 11 total, so half that.
5 points of piercing damage. You turn, you fire, and as you do, that arrow pulls the shadow away from you just far enough for you to be able to disengage. You slide behind the rock. Anything else, Ori?
That's it for me.
Alrighty. That is Ori's turn. Cheshire, what would you like to do? Shadows are on deck.
Mika, close your eyes! Inspiration.
I love that. I love that.
Thank you.
While rolling backwards talks a hypnotic pattern,
Okay.
so it catches the greatest number of
Kara.
yes.
There.
No
That
problem.
is a wisdom saving throw for everyone in that 30-foot cube.
Hey, wisdom in theory should be something that I'm good at.
And where are you centering it?
2.
Buddy.
Okay. So that's going to be Minka, Ori, Nojdaido, and 1, 2, 3, 4 of these shadows. So I'm going to do Nojdaido first.
What's your DC?
That is going to be. That's a wisdom save? What's the DC?
16.
Oh, Nojdaido fails, and that's his best save.
I almost failed.
2 of the shadows are definitely going to fail because one's a natural 1. One is a natural 1, one's an 8, and one's a 14. So all the shadows fail. Actually, that's 3. Sorry.
While affected by the spell, we are incapacitated and have a speed of 0.
Okay, so the shadow that is at the very top of those rocks, the 2 that are right next to Minka, and the one that is in front of Ori, as well as Nojdaido, all currently charmed.
Oh wait, just enough.
Wow, look at that. We got a lot of charm drink. Thanks, Kara.
So just the shadows, yes?
It is 4 shadows and Nojdaido.
Oh, I don't have enough.
Minka?
Nope.
No Minka. Nice.
That last little bit of inspiration was just enough to put me over the edge with my credit roll.
You could use magic effect.
Yep, I've got it in my hands.
Wasn't this guy too?
Wisdom save?
Here, buddy.
Against being charmed.
This one?
Yes.
And then this one for Nojdaido.
Perfect.
I'll give you that one.
And so all these shadows suddenly just seem enraptured by this flashing pattern that streaks along the mud and the stones. And there's Dido as well. Anything else, Cheshire?
That's it.
Alrighty. You end up like on your back, on the ground, just throwing this spell.
Well, I can roll backwards and I'm crouching by the...
No problem. That is your turn, Cheshire. Shadows. So most of my shadows are now not really doing much. I think I only have 1 left.
You have 2. Not to
Oh yeah, right. Okay.
not to shoot ourselves in the foot, but you've got 2.
Ori, can you move the one that's at the top right down to next
Oh,
to
3. You have 3.
Could you put the one that is touching the stone guy up flush against Alina and Nojdaido?
He succeeded.
Yeah, the one that was on the far side where I failed.
Oh, that's such a good one.
And then where's my third one? Where's the other one?
1, 2, 3.
Oh, right, he's hexed. Sorry. Then you are going to have one attack on Nojdaido, one on Alina, and one on Minka. So, Minka, that is going to be a 19 to hit.
Yeah.
Minka, you are taking 12 points of necrotic damage, and your strength score is reduced by 3. You feel as this grabs you, the strength ripped from your body. You can barely stand. What is your strength score?
7.
You are feeling rough at this moment. You know that show, Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? Different stats, same concept. So you are feeling weak. The shadow is pulling elements away from your vitality, but also away from whatever it is that passes beyond the mortal coil when you die. You would imagine, Minka, in this moment, as this pulls away and the starlight begins to falter, if this creature kills you, there is probably not a coming back from it. So that is the one on Minka. The one that is striking Nojdaido, that is going to be a 15, which meets it. Nojdaido is going to take a total of 9 points. And... oh wait, he's resistant. Look at that. That's right. I counted for the terrain.
And any damage taken does knock him out of the hypnotic pattern.
Oh, great. Okay, so actually fantastic. You remove charm from Nojdaido. He kind of stumbles for a second, and though that is only 5 points of damage, for him that's a pretty good amount. His strength also is reduced by 3, and so he is starting to look a little bit weaker, but not quite as weak as Minka.
21.
The one that is attacking Alina,
I'm kind of the definition of a waif
Alina,
right now.
19.
So lighter, easier to pick up.
Alina, you take 9 points of necrotic damage, and your strength score is reduced by 3. Three times in a row. These shadows, as they grab onto you, for those of you who are being hit by them, you are getting colder and colder, and the air, about 70 degrees, feels like it is frigid. But that is all the ones that have attacks. That is the shadows. That brings us to Rez. Rez is dead.
he
that
is
brings
dead.
us to Alina.
Okay. Shoot. All right. Alina is gonna cast a glance over at Billy. How is Billy looking?
Billy's great. Nothing bad has happened to Billy other than watching her friend get the life literally
Great.
sucked out of her.
Alina, as a free action, is gonna say, "Sorry, Billy," and she's gonna thunderstep on out of there.
Nice. Okay, so that is a strength save,
Let's see. Con save.
and it's within 10 feet.
Yeah. So it's gonna get. Oh wait, is it gonna get Toy Boy as well?
Yes.
I had such a good plan. I was gonna walk
But
in the middle of
he is not charmed, and so he's fine. For him, that is going to be a 21,
yeah, the DC is
even with his
17.
reduced strength. And for these two shadows,
13 for Billy.
Oh.
Not 13, sorry, 17 for Billy.
it is going to be a 3 and a 14.
Nice.
Okay, they both fail. So they are gonna take.
Yeah, roll that. That's good.
Woo! Okay, 24 damage, and then 24 damage each, and then the
It
one.
seems as if that damage is halved to all of them.
Thunder
and so,
damage?
Yeah. And so only 12.
And the one that's hex takes the hex damage as well.
Yep. So go ahead and roll that. And that's what kind of damage?
Thunder. Oh wait. Oh, the hex is necrotic.
No damage. Doesn't do.
Well, that's okay because I rolled a 1.
Yeah. Doesn't even do that. They seem completely immune to necrotic damage.
Oh, that's fun. Wish I had figured that out before I cast hex. Oh well.
No worries.
All right, and then I'm thunderstepping out of there, so I'm gonna go up here.
Okay, so you just appear, and there's this thunderous boom, and these shadows, you can see their matter crackle. They don't get knocked prone. They seem immune to that condition. They also seem immune to that necrotic damage, but they are still standing. One of them is flickering pretty badly. Actually, 2 of them are flickering pretty badly. That is your turn, Alina.
Yeah.
Okay, that brings us to Nojdaido, who has been rocked out of his charm. Okay. So he is going to, kind of like looking around at everything that's going on here, he is going to... Alina, you're still holding, you still haven't used your staff. So he's going to turn around and he's going to look at Minka, who has a staff as well. And Minka is going to say,
Give me some fucking
I can't do this very many times. So he's going to grab onto your staff.
I can't believe I
and
forgot
he
about the fucking
pulses,
staff.
and this time your staff, not only does it thrum with power, but it glows a radiant, brilliant light as he casts.
Or I'm not sure how effective my hitting you guy would have been.
As he turns your weapon into a holy weapon, and it deals additional radiant damage on its next strike. This works against resistances and things of that nature as well. It is your staff, and so for what it's worth, it only works for the staff. That is Nojdaida's action. They cannot move anywhere, but as a bonus action, they're going to say, good luck, and boom, just tuck into their shell. AC 18. Alrighty. That is Nojdaida's turn. Billy, what would you like to do?
Alina first, right?
I already
Went.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think we've got it.
I do have it backwards then. Sorry. Billy's just gonna do the same thing that she did the last turn, which is drop Minka's little chit on the ground and then do a green flame blade.
Yeah, go for it.
Hold, please. There we go. Please.
So Minka gave you this little pebble. You throw it on the ground and you just bring your flame blade up.
Minka gave me a pebble?
No, it's because the chit.
Oh,
Yeah.
heard. Fucking pebble. 19 to hit.
19 hits.
Yay!
Yeah.
Take
So that's 6 points of magical piercing damage.
With the magical piercing damage, that certainly seems to do the full amount, and that creature already flickering from Alina's thunderburst just disappears, completely annihilated by that blast. You can pull the hexed one off the board.
And then next one's off the board. Cool. And then the other guy takes 7 points of fire damage.
Only
Sorry,
3.
not 7. Modifier. So it's not spell attack bonus if it's your modifier, right? Spellcasting ability modifier.
Your spellcasting ability modifier is your charisma modifier.
The modifier of the ability that you use for spellcasting.
Okay, sweet, thank you. So that's 4 points of fire damage.
Half to 2.
Half to 2.
And that guy still seems up.
Cool.
Anything else, Billy?
Billy's already given out one bardic, so let's give out another one. Again, you just have to like hit it. There's no magic or what. You just take and go bah. And there you go.
Oh, very nice. Okay.
Take and go bah.
Yes, take and go bah.
So Nojdaido goes around giving
Billy's not a
everybody
teacher.
the wrong weapons, and then Billy tries their best to coach those people. This is the worst Little League team of all time. No problem. Anything else, Billy?
Nope.
Alrighty, Minka, what would you like to do? Or your own deck?
Okay, so there is. Obviously, there are ones within melee range.
Yeah, there's 3.
So, and it's an action to swing a quarterstaff, right?
Yeah.
So Minka's just gonna be like, oh, I can't die to this. She's gonna healing word herself.
Okay.
Because if it's gonna be action time, it's gotta be action time. But she just 2nd level healing word.
Nice.
And then let me just see how many. Yeah. Oh, that was a shitty roll. Yay, that was really shitty. That's okay. So, 16. 10 points outside of range. And then she's going to very intentionally take the staff
Okay.
and jam the side that definitely does not have her crystal attached
Yeah.
to it
Oh yeah.
into the closest one.
Nice. So like a spear.
Yeah.
Go ahead, make an attack roll. Are you proficient with staves?
Yes.
Nice. There you go.
I am
yes.
proficient with them. I
Make an
just
attack
prefer not to use them.
Yeah.
Stabs, do they use your dex modifier, or is that just with Shillelagh?
I believe it's with Shillelagh.
That's not. Don't worry. It is a natural 20.
Nice.
So Minka, you are flooded by the inspiration from Billy, who tells you just have to hit it. Of course. That's what you've been missing. So you turn your staff around.
Go back.
Roll damage on that.
Okay, so I have a question.
Yeah.
So,
Additionally, on top of that damage, you can roll 5d6 of radiant damage.
Just go, bah!
Do you need more d6s?
so it's
And this is a natural 20. So double on all this. You could roll it if you want, but this murders this team.
yeah. I'm just gonna because I don't have my
Shiny math books.
Clacky, clacky, clacky.
Yeah.
It's a d6, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for. I'm like, I don't know.
So it's one regular d6 and then 5 holy radiant d6.
5 holy d6.
5 holy matrimony d6s.
So that's 2 regular damage, assuming there's no negatives. Assuming there's no negatives from having a negative strength score at this point. And then 4. I think it was a total of 66s or 46s.
5d6. Oh, sorry. Total of 66.
66. Okay, so that's
5 are radiant, 1 is not.
11.
How many more references can I pack into one round of combat?
So that is a total of 34 points of radiant damage.
Which is actually 68 points of radiant damage.
Oh no, I was already done.
No, you double it for a crit.
Oh.
They are
Also,
vulnerable to it.
Oh,
And so
shit.
that is 64 points of radiant damage. You all watch as Minka turns the staff around, very uncertain, and then just kind of like this huge blast that actually like annihilates. I would say with 64 points of radiant damage, that is like
It's just like a blare of
I'm just blinded. Like, we should get at it.
Minka, you are almost knocked like onto your back, and you like skid, holding your feet in the sand, like 3 or 4 feet back, just not enough to provoke an attack of opportunity, just enough for it to be flavor and not mechanics. And then you like stop, and you can see like the rock smoldering. There are little charred bits remaining, but there is just a like 30-foot gap of stone.
Fuck yes.
I'm just shooting the other way. Bump into me. Oh.
Just go back.
Fantastic. Anything else, Minka? That the highest damage roll?
I think so.
Of this campaign?
Wow,
The campaign so
very
far,
nice,
yeah.
very well done. So
I
that
think
is Minka's
Brenna
turn.
maybe has topped it a little bit, but
There's a couple in campaign 1 that topped it, but I mean level 17, you know. A little different.
Now we're level
Not bad
5.
for level 7.
So that is Minka's turn. That brings us to Ori. Cheshire, you're on deck. Ori, you turn. You see Minka just annihilate the
Minka
stone,
is
the world.
I don't know.
You're like looking down at this little arrow. You're like, I mean,
I'm like, yeah, I'm literally just like, all right.
if this was like a Tom and Jerry cartoon, the arrow would just go like limp. Like, yeah, it's hard to like really follow that up. But go ahead, make your attack roll if you want.
So I'm gonna. So these 2 are still charmed.
3.
I keep.
There are 3 that are charmed, and there are 2 that are not.
I'm gonna go for one that's.
There's one that's not.
No, one that's not the other one.
The other one got eviscerated.
Right.
All right, I'm gonna
Obliterated.
Do shadows have
turn to the
viscera
one
to
that's
eviscerate?
Certainly not now.
not charmed
Okay, make your attack roll.
and steady aim and fire at it.
So you're shooting like in this gap of stone. You are firing between like the legs of that little rock guy.
Yeah.
No problem.
Open accuracy. That's 17 on the die. I think it's a 25.
Yeah, that hits.
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll damage.
Cool.
It's still piercing, correct?
Yeah, but it is sneak attack.
It is.
Every little bit counts.
When you're right, you're right.
Every little bit counts, alright? We can't all shoot fucking Kamehameha out of us.
In my mind, that's literally what I was picturing, because that was so much damage.
Alright, every little bit counts, though, and that's...
Whatever you kill yourself over.
Hey. 25 halved is still not bad, okay?
12. And as this one that is behind Nojdaido is the one that took that spillover damage from Billy, that is just enough to take them out. Just
little bit counts.
literally literally meets a pizza for the HP.
That's the lesson for today, kids. Every little bit counts.
Huge radiant burst of damage, twing, little arrow, but both have equal effect. 2 shadows gone. That is your turn, Ori.
That's it for me.
All right, Cheshire, what would you like to do?
Go away! Directed at the one between Nojdaido and Minka.
Okay.
Dissonant Whispers.
Okay.
That is a wisdom saving throw.
That is going to be a 12.
That is a failure. There it is, taking 10 points of psychic damage.
And that seems to do the full amount of damage. And
Must immediately use its reaction, if available, to move as far as its speed allows away from me.
it does not have any speed available because it's dead. And so as you deal this 10 points of damage, full damage is psychic, and that seems to rattle it. Already only a little bit hurt, but that's enough. That completely tears its essence away. Anything else, Cheshire? You just go away, and it does. That is your turn, Cheshire. That brings us to the shadows. So there are 2 that are charmed. They can't really do anything. I think that's all my shadows, right?
Yeah, it's just the 2 charm ones.
Okay. So that brings us to
Let's bottle one up.
Alina. At this moment, you can see there are 2 charmed shadows. They're just kind of like listlessly standing there. What do you want to do?
All right, so Alina looks at Minka and like clocks the glowing, and then she looks at her and is like, and let's see, and she's like, well, now I'm up here. Oh man, and I think, can I throw my Rod of the Pack Keeper?
Yeah, you certainly can.
I'm gonna throw it at this
Make
guy.
an attack at disadvantage as you are throwing your Rod of the Pack Keeper. You are yeeting your weapon.
It's not my it's
Not your focus.
Not your focus.
It's not my focus.
Yeah.
Yeah, my focus is my right.
Right, yeah.
So what kind of attack do we reckon this
This
is?
is a ranged weapon attack. It's yeah, it's deeply at disadvantage.
Oh yeah, like so disadvantaged
this was
that
4E,
maybe I should
yeah.
be rolling 3. Yeah.
Yeah,
All right. It's fine. 12.
it's a 12.
Yeah.
Pizza.
Yeah.
So you're all the way up top. You see Minka just destroy this thing, and you're like, huh, and it goes end over end, and you watch as it hits in the sand and just digs, doesn't quite hit the shadow, and then there's like a of wind, and it just tilts and taps him. Go ahead and roll. That's only 3d6 of radiant damage.
All right, and then
And
I mean,
Just a cow.
roll a d4 for the rock.
yeah, I was gonna say like an improvised. Yeah. 3d6.
Going with the spiky ones.
Yeah. 2 for whatever the rod is doing.
Okay.
And then 7 radiant damage.
Which is actually 14 radiant damage. And so you're like, and you throw it, and as it just ding taps him, there's this of light, and this bright light casts the lone remaining shadow in dark shadow because he is the only one left. That completely annihilates that one.
Nice.
Anything else, Selena?
No, that'll be it.
All right. So at that, I think Nojdaido is, he's still in his shell. He has no idea. From where he is pointed, Billy,
You guys alive?
you hear survive, and then this little healing word comes out, and just 3 points of healing.
I'm fine.
The way his shell is pointed, he can only see you. That is Nojdaido's turn. That brings us to you, Billy. As this spell just across you, nothing really happens, but there you go.
Belabored sigh, was fully expecting this is the time to get the shiny blaster weapon. Nope.
That's a touchability.
And then she goes forward so that the shadow is in her line of sight. And since she said, well, this works for Cheshire, just fuck off. And that's wisdom saving throw as well for my dissonant whispers.
Or slightly better. Oh no, actually exactly the same. 12.
Nope. So that's 3d6. Full because all of my other d6s are out on loan.
Oh, want some of mine? They're not doing too good.
So that's 6, 7, 10 points of psychic damage.
Very nice. 10 points of psychic damage is the full amount. And Billy, tell us how it happens.
Just really pitiful, like not satisfying in the slightest.
There is like a, and you can see one half of it just loses form, and then the rest just away. And all of you are out of combat.
You okay?
Yeah. And then she's gonna reach out to cure wounds. At the second level.
Smack Ori in the face.
Hearing the sounds of battle die down, Nojdaido is going to come out, and seeing you begin to like cast healing, he's going to say, if there's a bunch of people hurt, I have a pretty good healing spell.
That'd be awesome. And then Alina's gonna Alina, whose strength score is down to 4, is just gonna be like dragging herself over, limbs wibbling.
Your gear is like dragging.
Yeah. She's basically just
Your
what Hannah
ring is,
is
like,
in real life
on the
now.
ground.
Yeah. She's gonna climb down, but probably don't I don't know. I understand if you want me to make a roll for that.
Make an athletics check. Yeah, and it's really like a fireman pole, like sliding down the stones, because it's tough.
Is she obviously struggling coming down?
Yes.
If she starts to fall, I have my feather fall ready.
Great, because that's an 8.
Feather fall.
Feather fall.
As you watch, as Alina goes, this is your terrain. You are a satyr, you clop all over the place. Yeah. So you clop right down, and as your legs touch the very first stone, your knees just keep bending. There's no muscle to support them, and you just slip and fall. And you see Alina tumbling down, feather fall, and Alina just right below. And then slowly, you just are lowered to the ground.
Thank you. And so Alina now at this point is just gonna make her way over to her rod of the pack keeper, get it, stand herself up, and be like, okay, you said something about healing?
Nojdaido's slowly now pulling one by one these little chimes out and rehanging them. And he's just saying, never should have taken them off. One moment. And it's going to take him about 10 minutes to put these all back so he can cast the spell.
Take your time.
But is there anything that any of you are doing in that time?
I think Minga's going to try to cast lesser restoration on Alina to see if it does anything.
Okay. So you cast Lesser Restoration. And this seems to do nothing.
Oh.
I feel pretty terrible right now.
Yeah.
I do too. What is the big deal waking people up in the middle of their sleep?
Well.
Nojdaido looks around and he just goes, I knew I couldn't trust you.
It wasn't me. I told you.
You all are basically as far as you need to get anyways. I'm gonna depart from here.
Oh, how long does the bad times last with the ghost touching?
I wouldn't put it like that. When you have a rest, you'll be fine.
Oh, thank you. Oh, gosh.
He strums this timbre one time, disappears.
I forgot to ask him about the flute. Oh.
That's alright. He probably wouldn't have done it anyway.
Do you have to sleep now?
Here? It was like, I guess I can do that, and just tries to lower herself down, and then
Unless
legs
you wanna
buckle.
walk.
Is that this feels like
Gives you
still not
like,
a great
bed
place
full of, like double layered,
to
so it's like extra
rest.
padded.
So you watch Alina and Billy are like setting up what looks like a tent or is like a fort of some kind, like just directly around Alina.
No, it's just a little extra padding.
Okay.
Yeah.
So making a little. This is like the college bed padding that you get. And looking around, I mean, there's bare stone, there's dirt, there's mud, there is the scorched remains of stones that Minka had just carved out. But nothing has changed aside from that. And so, could more shadows come? Absolutely. In fact, as you turn and you look behind you, you can see in the distance looming the huge shadowy mass that is that stone tulip. That is where the shadows come from.
Nope. Everyone up. We gotta move.
It's several 100 feet away, but
We're moving.
Okay, that's fine.
Can't. Everyone's just
a few more
exhausted.
hours.
You're exhausted.
I know, but we can't stay here. They're gonna come. There's
Just-
a chance that there could be
Just
more.
a quick catch our breaths. Let some people get some shut eye. Doesn't have to be long.
Well, Alina's from like prone position is gonna be like, I can just ride along in my ring.
also true.
I'll be fine. Just don't make me stand up again.
Billy points at both her and Minka, who are like equal levels of terrible looking.
I'm also pretty terrible.
And you're
but I'll
also
give
pretty
you-
terrible.
Would you consent to a piggyback ride?
Oh, I guess I could be a horse for a little while.
Yeah, do your
We need to move.
I don't feel good
Oh, sorry.
about this.
Alina's
I don't
like,
feel good
oh
about
yeah,
this
the
or
horse
that."
stats.
I don't think we should rest until we're out of sight of that thing.
How many more hours is it?
It's a
How many
long
more
while.
hours? How many hours have we gone since he said it was about 16?
About 16.
All right. It's not gonna be.
You're
much
through the
further.
worst part of those like little strings and everything. Right now, you're at the very kind of you're at the southern tip of the northern reaches of the Fields of Folly. So if there were like regional maps, you are like on the very south
There
of
is
the
a regional
northernmost.
map.
So if you're talking about your regional map that I give you and you guys just constantly lose track of,
Right there.
it's there because I dug it out from behind there yesterday.
Why was it back
I
there?
don't know.
No, this was it was on the table.
Because I put it there.
Oh.
It was not there. I promise. I live here. So, right here under this table. In this
RDX stones.
So, what do you want to do?
Listen, we're pretty weak. But how far do we have to go? Does anyone know?
Pretty substantially before we're in a safe area.
Safer than this isn't very
Just
far.
here for the ride. I think pretty sure I've made that clear at this point. You tell me.
Okay, well,
Get in your ring. Please change into a horse. We're moving.
Can't make her change into a horse.
I asked, please.
Did
Well,
you say
rest
please for the record, and then
Well, it's more
down
of a
into the
thing.
ring, which usually she hands to Billy, but didn't this time, so it just clanks onto the
shit.
ground. I'm still glowing, so.
Yeah. Billy kind of like pats around there.
And then from inside the ring, you hear, "Oh, sorry."
Fine.
well,
If you don't,
how many people are moving? Me?
I
I'll
can
be
walk.
moving. Shush.
I can walk. I'm fine.
If someone gets on me
You should just
as a horse,
take it easy. You know, you're not looking great yourself.
Well,
Just
I can do
a little further.
one more spell to make us go a little bit faster, but I can't do it to everyone. So someone would need to
We
double
should
up.
stick together then.
I don't feel good about this. This is a
like
bad
I
idea.
said, I don't feel good about that.
All he-
Minka, just so you know, if people are going to double up and if Billy's walking, the only other two people that are left to double up are Cheshire and Hori. And if you want them riding on your back, that's fine, but there's some history there, for what it's worth.
And it's it would be
Cheshire would refuse to get on the Folly.
Turtle.
You two get in the horse. I'll walk.
No.
Keep an eye.
No.
I can target 3 people.
Turtle Man said that all we had to do was rest, and we'd be better. Everyone will feel better after some rest, and we'll be able to
if
walk.
we get attacked again, like we did.
I'm just gonna look around and see if there are any more shadows in the immediate
Make a
area.
perception check.
I think Alina at this point is just snuggling down for a snooze inside her ring, nice and comfy.
Yeah.
From inside the ring, you hear.
Punch you,
15.
punch you.
Yeah.
You look
You have
around here,
bardic?
and there are many shadows.
You have bardic.
Oh, right.
I always.
Ooh! +6.
Damn, that makes a difference. There's not as many shadows now. It's like
Fewer shadows.
My eyes something clear. I'm just like,
you're like, wait, and you pull the hair out of your eyes, and you're like, oh, okay, not as many.
Remember, I'm just supposed to go by.
Minka, what I will say is with that check, as you like look around, there are not any of these like extra dark shadows that had grabbed you and pulled the vitality from your body, but there are many other shadows, and you don't know what way these travel, if they are like born from these spaces. And turning and looking back at the place that Ori gestured to, the shadows around that place much darker. There's a part of you that thinks about a sponge. When you put it into water, slowly that water will travel up. You've taken the water away from the space, but it won't stay away for long.
Okay.
Just
We need to. If we're gonna stay, someone has to stay awake the whole time.
a power nap. I've got you.
I'll stay awake. Everyone go to sleep now.
That didn't work last time.
You go to sleep.
It did work.
It didn't.
It worked
obviously.
until you screwed it up.
I was asleep. How did I screw it up?
Ori, don't make me slap the back of your head to make you fall asleep. Go to
No,
bed.
I vote him out. Rude.
From inside the ring.
Vote of no confidence.
Fine. I'm gonna move then. I'm moving.
Okay.
Everyone.
Good.
Oh no.
Ori makes his way off and into the gloom.
Guess we're
Well,
walking.
away. The direction that we're supposed to be going. Away.
There really isn't a place that is not gloom. I mean, you're in the fields of Folly, and it's not a great place to be alone, but you are. You head off to the north. Make a survival check.
Guess we're walking after him.
I think he's gonna cast Long Strider on the 3 that are remaining
Okay.
that she can.
So
Cheshire,
it's
you're
you,
coming.
Cheshire, and Billy?
Mm-hmm.
Or
Or you sleep here
technically,
alone.
Valis is here as well. And so,
Valis would probably be the slowest.
yeah,
On Valis.
there you go.
12.
Horse.
Was there? Are you transforming into a horse?
I'm a horse now. Nay.
So after casting Long Strider on Valis,
Goes back and goes to sleep.
you into this beautiful celestial horse, the mane itself almost like dulled starlight, and then you are ungracefully mounted by Cheshire, who like tucks themselves in and just promptly falls asleep.
And I just like kind of clop after Ori.
Make a survival check, Mika, because you walk for like 5 minutes. No worry.
I'm with like lead.
Make a perception check if you are helping.
16.
Okay.
I mean, my perception check is doing nothing to help. It's a 14.
Okay. No problem. So you
Yes, problem.
you follow. You lead Minka. Also follow, and maybe that's part of the problem.
There we go. That's what it is. Where you lead, I will follow.
You follow Minka, and as Minka clops along carrying the sleeping Cheshire, you don't find Ori for the first 5 minutes. And Billy, you begin to look around for signs of Ori. There are no footsteps. He's real hidden, apparently. Ori's like flashing over you, and you're imagining like maybe Ori's doing a Cheshire thing where like he's just scouting us around from like the periphery. Flash over to Ori, and you're like looking around. There is nothing. There is nobody. You have lost the ridgeline, and you are down in the bottom of one of these basins. Mud is up about 1 inch past your feet. What do you want to do?
I'm gonna invoke my background feat of knowing everywhere that I've been before. And I'm going to retrace my steps a little bit and find the path again and go in a new route.
No problem. So you trace your way back. And so as you are looking around for Ori, from the west, Ori approaches, having almost backed like enough around to start heading south. You can see Ori like curling in from the mist. And Ori, you have found your group.
Oh.
I keep moving in a new direction.
Okay. Are you following Ori or?
I like, look around and go,
Minka, we should just sit. He'll come back around. Might as well get some sleep if he's gonna keep doing this.
Minka just kind of gonna just like stop and then just like wait and just be like, I don't want to.
Really sad name sound. A little clop. Ori, make a survival check.
surely this won't turn bad. Oh, okay, that's actually much better. 24.
Okay, no problem. You find a little bit of a better path. You find the ridgeline again, and you follow that. You remember Nojdida saying, this is really just a straight shot. You just need to follow this. And so you do. You wander back and forth, left and right.
What?
And continue walking. It just kind of, it's like, it like sways. Yeah.
You said straight.
You just like tumble off the side. You're walking, you're like, you know what? Or you make your way forward and you continue walking. How far are you going away from your party?
How long is the ridge line?
I mean,
Like-
you have no idea.
Can I see like any sort of end?
Your vision carries about 80 feet out before like the mist and the various bits of broken rock break up the sightlines. It travels at least 80 feet. And if you go another 10 feet, at least 80 feet.
I'm gonna just keep walking
Okay, no problem.
the straight line until I get to some sort of clearing or something.
Perfect. Half an hour goes by. We'll get back to that in a second.
Billy's trying to convince everyone to bed down. Cheshire obviously needs no convincing, is asleep.
Very much asleep.
Basically attempting to convince Horse Minka that there's really no better option here.
Minka's just gonna kind of like sadly look out into the mists and then just kind of like awkwardly start to try and tuck her legs underneath her.
Minka has not really done a lot of sleeping as a horse, and so you watch a very uncomfortable like horse sitting down where the legs bend weird, and you can see Minka like flinch. You're like, that's not supposed to feel like that.
Oh.
Yeah, it's not good.
It's like Cheshire's also on her back. She's trying to like balance that. It's not going well.
Billy like shakes Cheshire awake. We're gonna sleep, so if you want to get comfier than sleeping on the back of Minka. She might not be a horse for much longer.
Slide off and make myself comfy.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Minka would, when she eventually gets to the ground, just kind of flop over and then just remain in horse form until it naturally wears off.
No problem. So there is a point if you are going to keep watch while Minka sleeps. After about like an hour goes by, suddenly this horse, which is like kind of uncomfortable, but the head's down, hits the ground, continues to sleep, no problem, but just like sprawled out in the ground now.
The continuous.
Yeah.
The snoring does not stop.
It just turns into honk shooing.
Billy, could you roll 15d8 for me, please?
Why?
Ori, can you go ahead and for me, please make a...
Oh God, 15? Oh God, I think I'm dead, guys.
I don't know why you just keep wandering away. Could you make a wisdom saving throw, please?
Hold on. 2,
Super
4,
Do you need more?
5. I might.
Oh, hang on.
Wisdom, is it against being charmed?
You don't actually get a...
Oh God, I don't even get a
Are
save.
you immune to being charmed?
I have advantage against being charmed.
That's not immune.
7,
So no. Yeah.
8, 9, 10,
Is it-
11, 12, 13.
So I'm like,
Swear.
You probably want to have 4d6 ready.
Him 46 or me 46?
Ori,
Yeah.
or Matt.
I got
really.
it.
All right, I got my 4d6 ready and d20's ready.
Matt, why
What's
do
the
you just,
D20s for?
why do you just keep throwing characters away,
The
Matt?
44 for character creation.
Well, or you can only take
Off
so
in the distance,
much.
we hear.
Looking for a new friend. 20.
Yeah, I guess so.
40. 50. 63. 67.
How much health do you have?
I'm dead.
How much health do you have?
34.
As you're walking, you walk half an hour, you walk 45 minutes. It's just a ridge line that's going back and forth and into the gray. And you look back, you don't see that stone tulip anymore. You are truly like pretty far away from the group. And then you get tired and you go to sleep. Minka, you are going for a long rest or a short rest?
I think she would start with a short rest just to get the shapes back and just to see what people are doing, and then if everyone's still asleep, she'd probably go back to bed.
Okay.
But
Billy, make a perception check.
I only just realized what happened. There it is.
12.
Okay.
This thread.
Ori, you wake up in a dark space.
Oh,
Give me 1 second here.
like, did I forget to open up my eyelids?
You kind of blink, and no, you are in this place that feels like a void. It is a dark place, and actually, Ori, could you roll a d100?
A lot of D100s coming up.
It's weird. It's like a theme or something.
Spook. What's this? Is that 12?
20.
12 or 12? No, because that's the 2, right? 20. You're right. Yeah, 20.
20. You appear in the dark, and then suddenly you feel underneath you vaguely solid ground. Crunchy. And as you like turn in your head, you hear this booming voice. And it doesn't feel as if it's purposefully trying to be overwhelming, but whatever this voice is, though it is silent and in your head, it fills this entire space. And you hear, "Apologies, I've heard the sensation of walking here is unpleasant." You hear these huge wings that echo off the space. And then from somewhere far away, walk.
Have I heard this before?
Make a history check.
Did I get my thing?
No.
even in death, Ori needs to be sure.
Does this look like the Feywild?
15.
No idea. You are in a dark place and there is a mysterious voice talking to you.
Can I see anything?
Looking down, you can see your hands. It is as if you are standing in normal light. Everything else around you is dark. There is just a pile, now looking down, of animal bones. Small animal bones, rabbits, squirrels, birds, and they crunch as you shift your weight. And as you shift your weight, suddenly you realize there is a path of them that leads off and into the dark.
Were the two voices that said
No.
they were different voices?
Markedly different. This one is in your head. It is powerful. It is common. That other one, creepy.
The one
Weird,
that said walk,
scratchy.
the one that-
Oh no, the one that said walk is that same voice.
Cool.
yeah.
I'm gonna follow that one's advice.
No, so everything that you've heard in this space is the same voice.
Okay.
I thought you were talking about
It's not
last
the
session.
same as the voice that
Oh,
you heard last
yeah.
time.
Okay.
So no problem. Both the same person. So you walk in that same direction, following the crunchy path of bones. Just
Where am I? Who are you?
I'm teleporting you.
Where? What's going on?
Back. Billy, with your poor perception check, you don't really see this, but Ori, suddenly you take this crunchy step, and then you take another, and the crunch is different. Now looking down, petrified little twigs, little stones, and all around you, you see stonework. You see the same gloom, and actually laying on the ground, Minka, looking directly away from you, is Billy. And standing right next to you, about 5.5 feet tall, is an owlin.
An owlin.
This owlin, you can see male.
Yeah.
Completely white. They look to be very much like a barn owl in terms of their kind of shape and size. And now that you can see them, Ori, you know who this is. This is Sentinel. This is the High Mage of the Tower of Crushed Blossoms. This is one of the 5 or 6 most powerful magic users in the Magiocracy of the Rising Storm.
Immediately just like revert down, you know, deference and...
Okay, give me 1 second here. You put me in a weird spot because my keyboard isn't really working.
Oops, sorry.
Oh, I want a new keyboard. I need a new computer so bad. I can't even look anything up on this thing. What a piece of junk. Okay, so no worries. He is going to turn to you and just say, there isn't any need for that. And you hear this in your mind, all of you hear this in your mind. There is no words. Cheshire, in your dreams, you hear these words. Minka, in your dreams, at first you were dreaming like as a horse, then as a person, and now words coming in.
It's just like, there is no need for that.
Yeah.
Billy's like instantly like,
And if you whip around, a little shorter than Ori, there is this owlin kind of looming over. You could see these dark red robes. He is standing there, and he has this wing like behind Ori's back. If this was like a full arm, you would imagine almost like a protective gesture. But Ori, you are just standing amongst your friends, or the party.
I'm back.
Hello.
Hi.
He's going to turn and just looking at each person is going to say, your companions need rest still.
Yeah.
So you know each other?
No.
No.
Billy, make a wisdom saving throw.
Can I, you're for deceive that?
Go for it.
Dreams like
14.
only hearing half a conversation. Like, what the
He was always looking at you, but now he is really looking. And you don't feel like a psychic probe. You don't feel anything magical. This is just somebody who, when they look at you, you feel like they see every mistake that you've ever made, and that they can see straight through this person that you project. There is almost instantly, you feel like there is not a whole lot of fooling this individual.
Billy feels like she's putting on a really like stern and brave and like face, but there's like trembling in her fingers as she's like in her like sword arm, and there's like kind of like eyes that are like dilating a little bit, heavy breathing.
But the head just back to Ori.
What do you need from us?
The wings just, and he looks at you and says, I was preparing to remove your viscera, and I noticed your badge. You are one of Hearsom's.
Yes. My viscera.
Your lower intestines, your organs, mostly your pancreas.
The dream has gotten really weird for me.
I'm just... I apologize, just a little confused about what just happened as, we are heading north. Thank you, I think.
1 second, I finally got my document open. I can't type any of the lower letters on my keyboard anymore. I'm gonna have to finally buy one.
I was gonna say, Dan is rubbing off on you.
I know, yeah, I know. It's not good. It's not great.
But you won't be in trouble until you start using it as a plate for your pizza.
I'm never gonna do that. So he turns to you, and sorry, what did you just say? It took me a second to open this up.
I said, thank you, I think. We're going north.
He looks, and you can see the head turns for a second, and he goes, Alberon, there is no need to stand on ceremony here.
I'm sorry, what now?
The head turns, Billy.
Hi.
You've met Alberon before?
Not really the name I use.
Has Billy heard that name before?
Make a history check.
And
Nope.
What do you?
I got a 6.
Seeing that you are kind of mystified by this, he turns and looks at you and says, why? You were given a great name.
yeah, it was sort of taken away. Or is it?
Really?
It was, had served my usefulness.
I had heard of this, but assumed it was your sister. Interesting.
What's going on with my sister?
You are one of Hearsom's, and so you must serve the realm. Your sister is fine. She's far to the north. I have a place for all of you to go. Whatever it is that you are doing can wait. You, and he turns to you, Minka. You've seen these shadows. They've gotten worse. And we cannot have them spilling into the Magiocracy. I will bring you to them, and you will put a stop to where they flow from.
How?
He straightens up a little bit. You. Give me 1 second. My notes are all scattered around here. You will enter Kirlor Teleldal, and from there, find out where they spill forth from and close it.
Stoneflower place?
Yes. The gem to halt the Dark One, in common.
So wait, what? Why is my sister up north? What's going on?
And maybe a little bit more pertinent, we're on a bit of a time schedule.
Indeed. If you work for Hearsome, you will always be on a time schedule. But this is more important.
Just because he's gonna ask. Who are you?
I am Sentinel. I am the High Mage of the Tower of Crushed Blossoms. I am he who brought the stars back to the north.
That sounds fancy. Oh, Billy kind of just looks at Ori. He's like, "Is that important?"
Has Megan ever heard
Fucking important.
of
Make a
this
history check.
person? It's a 7.
No idea. You've heard of the Sentinel Wood, which is a little bit to the north. Maybe it's named after this guy.
Sentinel Mountain.
But, sorry. Yeah, you've never heard of him. No idea. Are you ready?
Yes.
Can we finish a nap?
Do you need more sleep?
This is the second time I've woken up in the middle of trying to actually sleep, and if I don't sleep, I'm not in a great spot.
We must hurry. Can you roll 15d6, please? Or sorry, 15d. It's like d8, whatever I had you roll before.
God, 15d8.
We just collected all of those.
Yeah, wait. I'll just do it on a dice roll.
No,
Okay.
it was so powerful.
It's hard for me to do that right now. That's the only reason why I'm really asking you guys to do it, because
Give it,
I can't
give
do
me
it.
back
with
that power.
So no problem. Minka, what is your maximum HP?
33.
Oh, you're going to sleep, I'm guessing.
3, 6, 9, 12, 15. Do not need. But thank you.
Roll over 33. That's the number to beat.
I like it to be good.
So just to put Minka to sleep instantly.
Oh, it was a sleep spell.
It was a
not
sleep
a kill me
spell.
spell.
That's why I did
We got there.
it was going to be a kill me spell though, just with an extra step.
Right, because he was gonna eat my viscera.
Pull out.
Pull out. It's cool that he didn't. I appreciate that.
It does help not being a viscera.
70.
Minka, you are so asleep. So as he just goes sleep, you just on the ground again hard.
There are lots
You
of eights
you like triple sleep. All of your HP. If this was death, you would not only be permanently dead, you would have reborn, lived an entire life as Minka, and then died again.
I imagine she like was kind of sitting up, and then she just kind of like face planted.
Yeah, just straight in the ground. And
Right next to Cheshire, who's face.
Sentinel turns to you. Do you need assistance as well?
Nope.
Time is of the essence.
Nope. I'm good.
Sleep.
Don't.
He's like looking at you. He says, "Go sleep now."
Okay. I mean, if I need to immediately sleep while you're watching me, then I might need a little bit of assistance, please.
Okay. So he is going to cast this again. I'm going to roll it because for the sake of time. And Billy, what is your max HP?
43. So you gotta...
Nope, didn't work. Hit me again.
61 points of sleep. Straight down. As you say, I might need a little bit more help. You hear in your mind again, sleep, and just straight down. And Billy, for the first time in a really long time, you do not dream.
Weird sensation.
Ori, it is just you and Sentinel now. And he turns to you. So, why was your name taken from you?
Well, because they didn't need me anymore, and they were going to let me rot.
Really?
That's the long and short of it. More detail than that. It's a little personal.
Such a waste. If you are interested, the reason your sister is north is there might be a way to infuse magic directly into the mundane, such as yourself. That makes much more sense why she was so eager to go.
Chrysanthemums?
What about chrysanthemums?
Well,
He the wings tuck up and he gets a little closer to you.
things happening in the Emerald Spire that are transpiring seem to be connected to things that are happening over here. There were a few assassinations. Seemed like there were some remnants of flowers from this side of the lake.
Crimson chrysanthemums.
Correct. I'm also here for deceiving this whole time.
Make a sense motive check, or insight check.
While he's rolling, has any of this woken Alina? Because she can hear stuff normally.
This is all
inside the
happening telepathically.
ring. Okay, so he doesn't necessarily know that she's there, so...
No, probably not. Well...
Up to you. I would just like to know whether she has awoken, because if she has, she's going to be listening intently.
No, probably doesn't know that you're there. There's no real... I don't think there's like a signature that you would necessarily give off.
Okay.
28.
28. As you talk, first of all, you're not quite sure that you can get a good read on this individual. They're talking to you telepathically. There's no real reads. There is also an element that you feel has been cast to kind of guard him from this. And so it's really hard to read. But that being said, you don't sense deception. And he could have just pulled out your guts if he wanted to.
Right, yeah. I have reason to believe that this is an upright and respectable person, so...
But he approaches and he says, it makes sense why she was so eager to go.
Why?
Well, if she could give you magic, she would.
But This. No, this stupid. She wouldn't try to do that.
I agree that it's stupid. But that's what family seems to do. What name do you go by now?
It's just Ori, usually.
Ori. I believe that these crimson chrysanthemums are connected to these shadows. My best person, an Aarakocra named Jartaki, is researching it. But we've yet to uncover any connection direct. There is a similar magic to them. Something old. Something dark. I want you to find out what that is, Ori.
Well, that seems to be pretty good because that's essentially what we're here for anyway, for Hearsome. Although I've had my suspicions about him.
Hearsome is a powerful individual, but he serves the Feywild.
Alright. Have you heard of Diatrail and Sunder?
I have.
Have you heard of...
What do you need to know about Diatrail and Sunder?
Fucking people that are trying to resurrect the Dark One.
The fractured.
Yeah. Heard of the fractured.
The fracturing, I think.
The fracturing.
Yeah.
I have not.
He seems to be a member of this organization attempting to bring the Dark One back. That's why we're over here chasing that lead.
You can see he considers this for a second and then again turns, and as he looks at you, you get the sense, very similar to you, trying to get a sense for like how much of the truth you're really telling.
Most of it.
Yeah. I know that. Yeah. Everyone always thinking that always out to get people. This isn't so much him. Anyways.
Jester's going at PTSD.
He sort of stares at you, trying to take in what it is that you're really doing. And with Hearsome being the driving force and saying that you're here on Hearsome's mission, he is going to say, I was unaware that Hearsome was interested in things this far south.
That was one of the things that made me a little suspicious.
I haven't said this to the rest, but you know where you're going, right?
The Divine Court, yes.
No.
The Dome.
Maybe eventually.
That was where we were supposed to be heading after the Divine Court.
Kirlor Teleldar was a fortress once.
Right.
Located at the center of a mountain feature. It was once overseen by a member of the Order of the Emerald Fang, a general, and they fell during the Dark One's rise. I will take you to the outskirts of this place. You will enter there, and at some point, you will transition to the Shadowfell.
And when we get there, we
sever the connection.
Sever the connection. Right, okay. That seems simple enough. I'm sure it won't be at all.
It will be very difficult.
Right, that's what I was actually implying.
The Shadowfell pulls things towards it, and when living creatures enter, though their souls are destroyed and their life taken away, the shadow remains. I have seen all manner of things wander into the dark parts of this land. Their shadows will be there.
You couldn't find anyone better.
You are the third group that I have sent.
Seems like there's a trend.
He turns and he gets really close to you and he says, Ori, Everest is a place with many adventurers. There is much danger. We send groups out quite often.
Right, yeah. Just, like, no offense to our group, but I would think maybe we would be at least 4th or 5th pick at best.
Your group is an interesting one. Particularly these two. And he turns and gestures to the sleeping bodies of Billy and Minka.
Alright, well. Yeah, something's going on with them, I think. Well, more so, what's up with Minka?
Turns and there's like a lingering look. What was your nose for ear for decision? All fucked up on this.
28.
Okay. Was it 20?
Toe for decisions?
Yeah. What was your ethical spleen? As you like listen to him, I lost my train of thought. God damn it! Doing it to myself. What did you just say? I'm so sorry.
What's going on with Minka?
He turns, and as you see, he lingers on Billy. It isn't that he's looking at Billy; it's that he's looking just past. But he turns to Billy and he says, he turns to Minka and he says, "This one dreams of the stars. I've seen this one before."
Oh. Okay. Well, I've dreamt of stars before, but probably not the way that you're talking about.
I think it is the way that I'm talking about.
Like just regular dreams and you look up and there's stars?
A long time ago, Ori, there were stars above Everest.
Right.
I brought them back, above the Tower of Crushed Blossoms.
Right.
And I think whatever it is that's bringing the astral eclipse here is beneath the ground. I think severing the connection to the Shadowfell will bring the stars back, above the fields of Folly.
Oh, okay. That seems like a good thing. Alright, this is a lot to take in, but I think we're on the same page. Thank you again for your help. Honesty, I feel like I can be honest with you at this point. I had no expectation of coming into contact with you ever, so I apologize for any awkwardness.
He just stares at you. Why?
Because usually people aren't as interested in seeing me, especially someone of such high stature as yourself.
In the Magiocracy, because we are so old, we have an old way of thinking. Magic is important, Ori, but there are other important things too.
Okay, well, thank you. I'm trying to tell others that, but...
He's going to turn and look back at the group, and he kind of like tucks the wings in, and you get the sense that he's waiting. Is there anything else that you want to say to him?
So my sister's okay?
Relatively speaking. The North is dangerous. There are things...
Hello?
No. At the moment, she is partnering with the leader of the Second Oath of the Ambersworn, a Callio Alonza, an artificer.
What about the Starkbites?
What about them? They're far to the east.
Well, I found something in Diatre's mansion.
Well, that would make sense. They are trading partners. All of them operate through the Lunaricht, and they move things across the East Coast.
They may be related to this group, the Fracturing. I would maybe keep an eye.
While you take care of this, I'll see what I can find out about the Fracturing. I have ways of looking at things that are different than yours.
Thank you.
He tucks back in. All of you can mark off a long rest.
Yay! We made it, boys. guys.
So just so you know, at hour 6, Alina would have been shunted out of her ring.
Okay.
So if the owl is still around by then,
Yeah, he's not going anywhere.
yeah, okay, that happens.
Okay, so you see, like, he turns, not alarmed necessarily, but you're still asleep, right?
I don't know.
Presumably, yeah, you're not going to get woken up because otherwise it breaks up your long rest. We don't want that.
No,
so
we don't want that.
You just kind of, like, there's a point where, like, it's very similar to Minka turning from a horse to herself. From the ring, you just, and like, Billy, if you, briefly, you turn over and you see Alina just, like, in the sand and come to a rest and then just turn over and, like, you go back to sleep. But no problem. You will mark off a long rest. As you wake up, one by one, this owl who put you both to sleep, the two of you, still there, still very much awake, just kind of looking at you.
Something's different.
Good.
Oh, hello. Good morning.
Hello.
I've lost
Are
track
you
of
all ready
time.
now?
I thought we went to sleep to be ready.
Who's this?
What happened?
Don't worry about it.
We'll figure it out.
Sentinel.
Splendid. You are all in darkness.
Oh, cool.
On the
Morning.
Ori, can you roll a D100?
Of course, because this is a fun thing that we do. 40.
No, don't just nod.
He eats all of our viscera.
Poker face.
I get all of your spleen.
Feasting time.
Each of you
This podcast thumbs.
appears in the darkness. Ori, this is similar to where you were before. You recognize now that this is being teleported in a very unique way. There are no animal bones this time.
That's good.
There's just dark. And in the dark, you hear this voice psychically in all of your minds that just says, walk the path and walk the path only. Turn to the left, turn to the right, and you may see the past or the future that you do not like. Or look if you wish. All down the path, you see the backs of cards.
I'm walking.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or you take this first step, and as you do, the card right before you are about to go and put your foot on it turns over, and you see directly in front of you, it is a tarot card. It is the Tower. And you see the Tower of the Crimson Mage upright with yourself falling from it.
Is it the right way around?
It is upright.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Things about tarot too.
You walk and you see the other cards just normal, normal, normal. You make it to the end and you watch as Ori just disappears. Who's next?
Seeing Ori go first, Chester would have hesitated a second and then followed.
Okay. You step forward and the card just wobbles. Each card just wobbles, but none of them turn over.
Bobbles with it.
Just disappear into the darkness. Who's next?
I'll go.
Okay. Minka, you step out. And as you do, this card turns over. You see an angelic version of yourself and the word temperance underneath. You are pouring a handful of pebbles into a basket.
I didn't look for any fucking rocks.
You just walk down the path. No problem. Who's next?
I'll go next, but before I do, Alina's gonna be like, who is the owl? Never mind, I don't care.
Did you say that out loud?
Just like quietly to Billy.
I am Sentinel. And you hear that like in your mind, and it reverberates through this space. And in a way, it feels almost like you're in his head and he is speaking and you feel those vibrations.
Why did you ask?
Okay, hey, nice to meet you. And she walks forward.
Okay. Alina, as your hooves tap the very first card, it flips over and you see yourself in priestess garb, befitting a member of the hunt. And you read beneath your name, the Hierophant. And this is upright.
feet.
Okay, we just keep walking. Billy, you are left alone. And in this time, you hear the voice once more. Billy, why do you go by Billy? That isn't your name.
Yes, it is.
Very well. Billy, you are in danger.
Great. Like, normal danger or, like...
Suddenly, right in front of you, this owl lands, and all around him, you can see just this entire space is just filled with tarot cards, all turned over, all the back. And he says, "Let me show you something."
Okay.
Holds out the wing and taps you and turns you. And hovering about 3 feet away, you see a perfect sphere of glowing, sickly purple light.
Okay. I don't know what that is.
Really? You don't recognize members of your own family. He holds out a wing. The card underneath this light turns over, and the light seems to start and then disappears. But for just a second, underneath, you see a hideous creature. And underneath that, it says Sylvie. And then just gone.
They're not my family.
Well, they're watching you.
I don't have a pact with Cernunnos anymore, do I?
You do. But be aware. You are helping your aunties a great deal.
Any tips?
There are things happening amongst the hags. I have heard rumors. Nothing that I can ascertain to be true. But they squabble, and they make alliances, and they hold them.
No tracks.
Billy, who could keep the hags in line?
No.
He flaps away, and the cards just disappear into the ground, and you see just 3 in front of you. You can't hide forever, Billy.
Oh. Billy kind of takes a step backwards.
Take a step back. Nothing seems to happen.
And Billy kind of like... She's been waiting for this. But now that it's here, she is not ready. She turns tail and runs.
Okay. You run and you run and you see the cars just disappear behind you, and you run into the darkness. And all that you hear is this huge sigh. And the sigh makes this wind through the space so hard that as you run, it feels like it's almost going to pull you back. But then as the sigh dies down, you just hear, "Then the pact still holds. I'm sorry, Billy. I tried." And Billy, as you run and run and run, you fall and land prone in front of your friends in the shadows of these huge stones that loom up around this tower. And all of you now stand on the top of a stone building that looks as if at one point it had been overgrown with ivy, but the ivy long since dead. And in front of you, in front of all of this, there is this remains of a tower. Give me 1 second here. There are crumbling gray stone walls that mark the boundaries of this space. At one point, they probably were protective walls, but now really just markers of this fortress that used to be. Most of the central tower is crumbled down into the keep itself, but you can see through the remains of the wall. There are, I would say everybody make a perception check, with the exception of Billy, who is flat in their face. 25? 21? 13?
23.
Okay. Alina, it's hard to see here. It's pretty dark, and you're like, and then like
this owl?
All of a sudden,
It's been a weird like 3 minutes.
yeah, and all of a sudden you're about to look. Everybody else just turns really quick and looks over the side at something, and then you're about to look, and then Billy just comes skidding across the dirt. You're like, Billy, and you turn, and the rest of you looking out and forward, you can see in the remains of this keep, kind of hunched down. There is a thin old man in tattered clothing, and he sits on a stone amongst the ruins. You can see as he sits, like he's basically facing you, maybe a little off to the side. His hands are on his knees. From this distance, that's all you can really make out. No more real details.
Does this seem like the guy? Are we supposed to go and like talk to this guy? It's not the Eric Hawker, obviously, but is
It's a
this someone working for the Sentinel?
It's just some guy.
Perhaps.
I'm gonna get a little closer. I mean, it's an old guy. We got to go towards this place anyway.
Yeah.
Cautiously and not trying to, startle him into a heart attack or anything. But.
So the building that you're on is about 18 feet high, and so you can get to the edge of the roof, and you're only about 30 feet away, like distance-wise from him, but 18 feet.
Oh, does he see us?
As you get closer and you look over, doesn't seem to be. And now that you're right over top and just 30 feet away, you can see the lips moving a little bit. He seems to be kind of looking around, but the eyes aren't really seeing anything.
What is he doing? What is he whispering? Can I try to read his lips?
Make a perception check
what he's what he's mouthing and what he's looking at? Dirty 20?
Okay. The dirty 20, absolutely. I mean, you're only 30 feet away. You can see that you don't hear it. You can see the words. Oh, it's chilly up here. Up here. Where is up here anyways? No. Not here. Not here. Sleeping. You're sleeping. But who are you? Oh, it's chilly up here. It's chilly. And he just goes right back into this loop.
Oh, he's stuck in a weird memory thing, huh?
It's a little different each time. It's not like a weird memory thing maybe, but it's there's something going on with this guy. And actually, with that check, I'll say the other thing that you see, as their hands are on their knees and they're kind of shaking back and forth, as the robe moves back and forth, at first you thought it was maybe gray or white because it's really badly faded. But as you get a little closer, you do see this collar forms a black X across, now just faded bits of gray. And just faintly, there are bits of green fabric still. This person is wearing the robes of the Austenlock.
Okay, at that, probably gonna,
Are we all following
the tower that
If you
we're
want to,
on?
yeah. If you guys all kind of slowly, after Billy gets up, this is like action movie, everybody's crawling up to the side and looking over. Now Ori can point and
Hold up behind Ori's shoulder. Ooh, it's a ghost!
Oh, it's not a ghost, he's from the Austenlock. They took his memories.
Oh, and Alina's gonna turn to Valis, who presumably is still here, and be like,
But it seems different than you.
Some people lose
gonna
more than others.
Make my way down to go see what's up with this guy. Is it 30-foot sheer drop? What am I?
18 foot.
Okay, so I can just climb down pretty easily.
Yeah, make an athletics check.
Or
Can I acrobatics it with a rope? Or can
So
I,
a rope is definitely athletics. If you want to try to do an acrobatic leap off and do a cool landing, there is a risk associated with it, but you certainly can.
Nah, I'm just gonna climb down like a normal.
Like a normie.
Like the normie that I am. No, I'm not gonna climb down. I'm gonna fall down because I got 7.
So you watch as Ori's like,
I was just gonna get a closer look.
and he goes, and he grabs onto the stone, and as he hoists himself over the side, the stone, and you just watch as Ori falls.
Featherfall.
Okay, cool.
Featherfall.
As you fall,
Featherfall than any other spellcaster I've ever seen.
Featherfall right at the end, and the rock right into your chest, and it wins you. It doesn't cause any damage, but like you don't featherfall the rock, and slowly you lower down to the ground. For what it's worth, that guy does not react. You could still see he's there, and from where you are now, a little closer
Dust
down on the
myself
ground.
off and like head towards him.
Okay,
There's something not right about him. That's
you
not
get
right.
closer.
Very cautious that it's
Sure.
like I don't want to
I'm telling you.
catch whatever thing is happening to him.
If this is supposed to be connected to the
When you
shadow,
draw within 15 feet, Ori,
I want to tell you.
you see his lips are moving and everything. He doesn't look up at you, but he just goes, "You aren't supposed to be here. It's so cold."
Me?
He looks up at you. "You aren't supposed to be here."
Are you okay?
I don't know. It's so cold.
I think you're supposed to be here, friend.
No, that's not right. But you're not supposed to be here.
What are you doing here? Aren't you with the Osenlock?
No, I don't know that name. And he pulls himself away and he takes these robes and he looks like almost he's cold now and he like shivers a little bit.
I'm gonna like get him something to, take from my my camping kit. Take one of
Your persuasion
blankets.
check. Is anybody else doing anything?
Billy's not standing anywhere near Alina.
Okay.
Hey, 19.
Okay. With the 19, and at first he kind of starts, but then he just pulls this over him and he just says, "You're not supposed to be here.
Right.
None of us are supposed to be here."
Right. I don't want to be here personally, and I imagine you don't. Is there somewhere you could go?
No. It's cold here, but it's colder farther away. I remember it was warm once. It was warm once when I had a name.
You forgot your name.
I don't know. But you're not supposed to be here.
Do you want to come with us? We're gonna get out of here eventually.
He looks really sad at that. And he goes, No. Nobody gets out of here eventually. You weren't supposed to be here, but now you are. No. And he just begins to talk to himself again.
So, are we currently in the Shadowfell? Is that...
You look up and you see the astral expanse, the astral eclipse just hovering overhead. You can see these stones that you saw from a distance previously. It doesn't feel like the Shadowfell yet, but you also haven't necessarily been.
Yeah, fair point.
Is Sentinel around?
No.
No. Where'd the owl go?
I'm gonna make my way back over to the group.
Okay. Or he like tosses the leg over and still using that previous athletics check. It's not the easiest climb, but you get there.
Worrying walls, man.
See? Ghosts.
It wasn't a ghost. It was someone from the Osenlock, but their memory is totally...
Billy kind of looks over at Valis as well. And is like,
That's not a person.
sorry.
He didn't even remember his name. Could
Hey,
just
you got that?
repeat
Not a person.
his cold.
Are you sure it was like Valis's? Or is it
I think
like
it was worse.
shadows?
What did it seem? Did it seem like it was
Yeah.
the effects of like a memory wipe from the Osenlock, or was it
broken watch
like
is still
obviously
right
it's
close
worse
to
than
me.
Valis's, but does it seem like it's that sort of thing or
Make an
something
Arcana check.
worse? Do I get my thing?
No.
Did our strength minuses clear up?
Yeah, you slept. Yeah.
Left.
Just want to double check.
Noise. Yeah.
Lena's pronking around like it's really inappropriate. She is not reading the room.
Bronk, bronk, bronk.
Pronkety pronkety pronk. Never losing my strength again. Pronkety pronkety pronk.
I don't know if there's anything we can do for him.
Well, we're here for a reason. We have to go
Seems
inside.
we're not supposed to be here.
We have to.
Well, if you look at
Have
it,
the
it
connection.
doesn't really look like it's up to code. I don't think anybody's supposed to be here.
Well, that's what he said.
Mm-hmm. He's got a point.
Why are we here?
He's got a point.
There's a possibility that the gloom back in the fields is as a result of a connection directly to the Shadowfell from this area, which is an old fortress where someone very powerful working with the Dark One died.
Wait, we're at the fortress? The spooky fortress?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool, I guess.
You realize the Sentinel
ambiance
is-
I was expecting.
The High Mage of the Tower of the Crossed Blossoms, right?
I did not know that. I literally just met him.
That's who that was. Yeah, very powerful.
That was just like you got in an Uber and then you got out and someone's like, that was fucking Elvis Presley.
Our Uber driver.
Have I heard of the
just
Tower
me
of Crushed
purpose.
Blossoms?
From Aura you have.
Yeah, okay.
And so you know that this is one of the 4 towers of the Magiocracy of the Rising Storm.
Oh.
Well,
It seems like whatever's happening here is probably connected to whatever's happening up north.
Okay.
well, we all wanted more information than what Hearsome gave us, right?
Here it is.
Yeah.
So we're doing what I suggested anyway.
Gotta hand it to you.
We're going splunking, Mink.
I win!
Good thing I got his pickaxe. Oh boy, we have no chalk, do we?
You chalk?
You always bring chalk when you go spelunking.
To keep
For your-
track of?
For your
For your
For the walls,
Oh.
guys.
Rock
Oh
climbing.
no.
Make it occurs to you, these motherfuckers have never been in a cave. That's cave 101. That's cave 100.
I was never given chalk in my spelunking adventures. That was a luxury that was not afforded.
Yeah, you're just supposed to get some dirt. You're supposed to chop down a tree with your dirt, and then you make a little house with your, with the axe that you make from your tree.
And then you get
You
your
craft your own
friends to come along. And hang
I
out
just
with you.
realized I should probably summon Rez again before.
Okay, we need to.
Head to the Shadowfell.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Sever the connection.
How are we gonna do that? Does anyone? Does anyone
This
know?
owl did he like, I mean, it seems like he's kind of your Hearsome, right? So, did he give you any?
Not really. Just, it's like
Well, maybe.
meeting like the head of, I don't know, was the head of your school or whatever.
Thornhome is the, or he thinks Thornhome is the school. Love that.
Just like, meeting the
Like the elder of your village?
but like the elder of one of 4 extremely powerful village kingdoms.
Villages aren't kingdoms.
Right? It's a grander scale than a village is.
Are you like getting your stuff ready to cast res?
I guess she's gonna look around for like, I guess like permission from the group to like hang out for an hour while she summons her buddy. He's
What-
gonna be really helpful.
Can I just like look around and see, is there a place that we should be conceivably heading to get down below to the towards the entrance to the Shadowfell?
Yeah. So you want to go past this guy
No.
into the dark creepy ruined keep the tower is collapsed into.
Cool.
And
Okay.
presumably, in there
Okay,
you'll
so
find something.
pretty much just, yeah, we're at the entrance right here.
Currently, you are standing 18 foot up on the roof of what once was a stable. You can see into the crumbling ceiling. There are wooden stalls. There isn't really hay. It's crumbled into dust at this point. But you are on the roof of what was a stable, and the keep and tower is just a little bit north.
Well, if you need some time, I guess maybe we can see what we can do about that guy. Help him out. Maybe get some more information out of him somehow.
If he has no memory,
Said
also,
some things. I gave him a blanket.
if he's just out here and he's still alive,
Alina's like, good enough for me, and she starts like stripping out this.
I don't know. This feels weird. Why is he here?
Hey, mate.
For what it's worth, no response. And it's loud enough that you're almost sure that he heard you.
Maybe he doesn't
It's
like
an
being
echo.
called mate.
Not real.
Is it wise to like shouting around like the edge of this thing?
Probably not, no. But I don't want to have to climb back down to go talk to him.
You think about Ori's last trip down.
Fair.
Yeah.
Well, if we're gonna be,
I guess I will climb back down and talk to him for the next hour if that's what we're going to do.
You want to trade off? I guess I can go down.
Maybe we could. I feel like we might want to just gently guide him away from this repetitive pattern that he's following.
Got it. Okay.
Do I still have Featherfall? It
Make an
ends when I
athletics check.
land.
But-
Alice probably
Yeah.
wants to help them too, so like,
Yeah, I figured I would
I'm
be.
gonna wait. I'm gonna wait until Valis is back, just because we have 6 players now.
Yeah.
Yes. There you go.
I feel like he'd be
So-
for getting this guy
Billy,
to like talk.
You climb down, and you climb down perfectly. You have no idea why Ori struggles so bad with this. You grab onto like
I
It's
feel
so
like-
magical.
First time
element,
I
and
do
you
a
just
better job
slide
the second
down and
time,
just
right?
land.
I do a little better.
What was that?
I said I do a little better.
Yeah,
this
what was
time. It was a night. 17.
17. Plenty fine, but not as good as Billy. Billy just right down, and you still are like, and you have to like turn around and feel with your feet for the first ledge, and then find it, and then
It's really
let
just
yourself down.
my solar plexus is sore because of the rock.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my,
no problem. You make your way
God,
down.
My core hurts.
Hey,
Yes. Just gonna,
buddy.
I'm gonna like go over and like kind of try to gently guide him.
Same
like,
exact
"Come-"
thing. You get within 15 feet. You're not supposed to be here.
Right, I know you said that before, but you're not either. You said that too. So come on, let's get you out of here.
No.
I'm gonna like try
Can't
to.
leave.
He
None of us
brushes you off, and he goes,
can.
"It's too cold out there."
Right, but I gave you a blanket. We've got more.
No,
Build your fire.
no, I remember.
What do you remember, bud?
It was warm once.
Right, you said that before as well. Look over
How
like
old?
this is what he's.
How old
This is
does
what he's
this guy
done.
look?
Make a history check. It's a weird way of using history, but
Is it history or is it like a medicine check?
yeah, medicine. Go medicine.
You gotta count the rings.
pull out your solid.
You just run like a gloved hand on him, and you're like, "Oh."
That's exactly what I do.
Yeah.
The highest of highest to the lowest of lows. I rolled a nat one.
So you go over and you look at him. It's hard to tell. When you look at his eyes, there's a vacant look to them that feels like he's not entirely there. But when he says that he can't leave, he means it. And he means it down to the core of his soul. And when he does that, to you, that's not natural. There's something probably more.
He's a ghost.
I told you so.
Definitely ghost.
This is just, it's not normal.
I need 10 gold for being
You see as the ghost shivers again and covers himself with your blanket.
He's really,
He
he's really cold. He can't leave this spot. He's gray all over. This is a ghost.
Back then.
You gave your. It's a haunted
It
blanket.
was cold. I was gonna give him a blanket.
That's like typical ghost thing, man.
What?
I think think at this point, Minka's trying to fill Alina in on what she missed. So just like,
Okay.
Well,
We need
Thank you,
Valis.
thank you.
Valis can do like some kind of ritual, like holy thing, and like.
Alright, well, I figured he should
It won't be
He's from the
enough.
Awesome Rock.
He's off talking to a spider that he found. It's a really friendly spider.
Yeah, well, when he's done talking to the spider, we'll have him talk to the dead guy.
What do you think he's talking about?
Spinning some webs. Or something. I would imagine.
Do you think he's getting like good knitting tips?
So an hour goes by, and suddenly, just Rez goes, "Whoa! I didn't mean to. I'm trying my hardest,
I'm sorry,
Selena.
no, it was a
I'm
total
really
accident.
trying my
It was a
hardest.
total accident.
It's just like Dietray all
You're
over
fine.
again.
No, you did what?
Just banish me every time I mess up."
Oh no, it was a total accident. I did not mean to do that at all, and I feel horrible.
He squints his eyes and he goes, "So it was really just a mistake.
Really just a mistake.
Mistakes happen, I guess."
Yeah, mistakes happen. We're good, right?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay. And then she's gonna be like, she's gonna fill him in as like to the best of her
So
ability.
we met this owl.
Yeah.
And now
Everyone
we're
else
going
seemed really
down to the
impressed, and then he.
Shadowfell.
Oh, the shadow fell. That's what I was smelling. That makes sense.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, those shadow guys are probably made out of stuff.
Is this all telepathic?
Yeah, but we're gesticulating as though we're having a normal conversation.
But Rez is invisible, so we.
Yeah, so I'm like, so you.
We're also down.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, we're ready.
Figure we were.
Before we go into the deep darkness, we need to talk about some safety measures that we take.
We're still on the lower level.
As everybody makes their way down and Minka begins to give you the spelunking orientation, because it is 10:20, this is where we're going to stop for the evening. But when we return next week, we'll enter into the gem that was, or I can't even remember what I named this thing anymore. My notes have me all thrown off. We will have you entering this place to see what might be causing these problems. Kier Lore Tel Eldar. So thank you for joining us for this session of D&D. I'll spell it for you in a second.
Thank you.
We will be back next week, but if you can't wait that long, check us out on Sunday on YouTube at Alberon RPG, and we'll see you next week. I'm going to walk over there and turn off the screen.
Bye.